would you feel bad if you won the 50-50 again and
a loss?
At that point, it becomes a jinx.
At that point,
at that point, actually, no, I will say this. If the Cubs lose tomorrow and I win the 50-50, I will 100%. On today's Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings, we've got a packed show for everyone. We've got Tom Fornelli talking college football. We've got Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. We have Jerry from Meow Mix, the Panthers podcast that had to retire because the Panthers are so bad. We just wanted to get to the bottom of it, hear it from him. We don't want to have this become an epidemic where more podcasters are retiring in their prime. We're going to talk playoff baseball. It's been awesome. Max and I, the Phillies and Cubs, are facing elimination. We're going to do hot seat, cool throne. We have listener-submitted FAQs, and we're talking about the Jaguars. The Jaguars win a game they never win and take down the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. Tons of sports to get to, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Game Time. The NFL is in full swing. Tailgates, packed stands, that buzz before kickoff. But getting in, nightmare. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. All you want is to be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. We're looking at tickets. Hank, what game are we looking at?
Patriots at the Saints. Superdome's going to be rocking.
Ooh, passing of the torch game to Spencer Rattler.
You can get in for $34 to the Dome. So
$34. That's an amazing deal on Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Wednesday, October 8th, and Aaron Judge did it. What an absolute insane moment in the Bronx. The Bronx is burning, PFT. That was incredible. The Yankees stave off elimination in an awesome, awesome scene. Aaron Judge hits a 3-run homer to tie the game. They end up winning the game 9-6. And the Yankees have life.
As an Aaron Judge hater, well, more specifically a Yankees hater, I don't like to see him win. I even have to. That was a fucking cool-ass home run. That was the coolest. He hit it in the coolest part of the ballpark to the coolest part of the foul pole. It looked like it would have gone like 450 feet. I know that StatCast said like 473. I don't believe that for a second. That thing hit like 70 feet up in the air. It was an awesome home run. It answered a lot of questions that people were asking about Aaron Judge because he hasn't been the best postseason hitter until this season, which has been pretty good this postseason. But that's always been the knock against the guy. And this was like his big clutch moment that he had, even though it was earlier on in the game. But it was an important home run. It completely changed the momentum of the game in a game that it looked like the Blue Jays were just going to continue to shit down their throats. And credit to Aaron Judge. That was a very, very cool home run. I cracked a smile watching Aaron Judge hit that, which is something I would not have believed that I was capable of doing.
He's been better than a pretty good hitter. He's been hitting 500 in these playoffs. He hadn't hit that big like moment power. That was his first home run, but 500 in the playoffs is insane. He's 11 for 22. And I sat back. I was just like, you know what? That was an awesome, awesome sports moment because if the Yankees somehow go on and win this series, it will be because of that moment. Like, I know that it was earlier in the game, but the Yankees were it felt like they were dead. They had, everyone was blaming Aaron Boone. They left in Rodon for way too long. Like, he just kept on giving up singles. And that whole moment, it was like almost the inning starts with that error. And Aaron Judge stepping up in that moment to tie the game, hitting that pitch, which is insane for a guy like him. I mean, I know he's an insane hitter. He's the best hitter in baseball, but to hit that pitch that was 100 miles an hour, like so far inside, to get around on that at 6-7, it's just insane. It was an insane moment. I'm happy for Aaron Judge. The look into the camera after, he was really trying to, milk that moment, but it was, you can't deny that sports are cool when you watch a home run like that could potentially save the Yankees season, because that's really what it is. Like, if the Yankees win this series, it's because that home run and that moment. If he strikes out in that moment, the whole air comes out of the stadium. Everything feels lost. They're still down 6-3. Instead, he reverses it, hits the home run, ties the game. They win 9-6. And they have life. And they've actually been like, ever since I saw, they said it on the broadcast, but I think it was through the first, the Blue Jays scored 23 out of the first 26 runs in the series. And the Yankees are now up 14-6 since then. Obviously, the Blue Jays have the lead. By the way, I need to say Jays. Some Canadian corrected us, PFT. They said, if you're talking about the Blue Jays, you just got to say Jays. So I'll say Jays now. I didn't know that's not true.
No, that's not true. They're the Blue Jays. They're the Toronto Blue Jays.
So that's what he said. It's like a Shaq O'Neal thing. If you say Toronto, you say Blue Jays. If you're just talking about the team, you say the Jays.
I'm gonna say it how I want to say it. I'm not gonna let a Canadian dictate to me the terms of America's pastime.
That's what Canada told me. It's Toronto America's Blue Jays pastime. Or Jays.
Listen, I respect the Blue Jays. Okay, Jays fan. How about this? I ran a mental simulation last night because I was pissed off because it seems like the Dodgers were going to win the World Series. There's nothing anybody else could do about it. I did 2,000 mental simulations. I was laying in bed envisioning a team that I could picture beating the Dodgers in the World Series. And the only team that fits my mental criteria is the Blue Jays. I could actually imagine that. So I'm going to call them whatever I want. I respect them enough on the ball field. So let's not get greedy and start demanding that I start dropping blue to stuff, okay?
I'm just saying, they said Jays. I'm going to say Jays from now on. But now the Yankees have Cam Schlittler going in Game 4 on Wednesday today. If they win that one, who knows? I mean, it really it did feel like one of those home runs that could just change the course of the postseason. It felt that massive, and it hit so far up on the pole. It was crazy. That thing was absolutely smashed, hit so far up on the pole, and the place was bonkers.
When they say like 373 feet on their like internal measurement system, there's no way that was only 373 feet, right?
No, I don't believe any.
No
of that.
Chance.
No,
I don't believe it at all.
Yeah,
I don't care if you looked at the camera or whatever. There's so many cameras at Yankee Stadium. They got drones flying around. You're going to look at some camera, no matter where you're looking. I just care that he pissed on that ball, and it was an awesome home run. Hit the shit out of it. I respect the fuck out of Aaron Judge for doing that with all the pressure in the world on him, because it felt like as Aaron Judge goes, so go the Yankees.
Big time.
And he needed to go out there and do it himself to get everybody else involved, and he did it. Congratulations to him. It was a cool moment. I respect him.
Hank, what do you think about the moment? He's muted.
Oh, muted.
He's
perfect.
Muted.
I'm muted. It was fine. Long way to go. I mean, when they lose this series, no one's really going to remember it.
Okay, well said.
He's right. He's right. And guess what? If they make it to the ALCS and he shits down his leg in the ALCS, we're not going to remember this moment either. If he makes it to the World Series, and they don't win the World Series and he sucks, we're gonna forget about this.
I think if they make it to the ALCS, we'll remember that moment. If they come back from down 2-0, that moment will be remembered. It won't be remembered the same as if they don't win the World Series, but absolutely that moment will be remembered if they come back down 2-0 and win this series.
I'm worried about Schlittler.
Yeah?
I hate that I like him, but if he comes out and does that again, it's like this.
If he does that again,
he's just a fucking legend. Like, and I think he might be.
He might just have that postseason stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think if they win this series, that will be absolutely a remembered moment for a long time.
Well, it'll be a footnote though. Like if the Yankees make it to the ALCS and Aaron Judge has a terrible series and the Yankees lose in large part because of his performance, it's going to be a footnote. It's an awesome moment. Don't get me wrong, but like We forgot about Vladdy Jr.'s grand slam from the other night already. Like that's already kind of in the past.
That's just
different. The nature of sports.
That's different. But that was different circumstances. They were facing elimination and looked dead, and that could have brought them back to life. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they win this series, that moment is the moment. What a game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. More baseball. I want to see more of these two teams play. I like watching playoff baseball in New York, too.
Yes, Hank.
I don't I said this and you kind of got mad at me before the show, but I was watching this, and again, I would much rather the Cubs or the Phillies win.
I didn't get mad at you.
As this was unfolding, I was like, this is bad for the Cubs or Phillies. Because if the Yankees had got swept, it's in like MLB needs to do something territory. Someone's got to extend the series.
I wish
the Yankees being the one to do it is not great.
I wish we were recording because I did not get mad at you. We hopped onto the Zoom, and the very first thing you said was, that's bad for the Cubs and Phillies. And I was just like, all right.
I agree with you. That's good for the Cubs and Phillies.
Well, I'm actually not making I think the Cubs and Phillies have nothing to do with the Yankees and Blue Jays. Sorry,
no, I
Jays.
think it's good.
Jays.
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
I
think it shows the guys that it can be done.
The Cubs
you can be
Phillies
dead and come back.
Hit. It has nothing to do.
But the Yankees just gave the blueprint of how you get back into it.
Win at home,
and the clubhouse can see it.
Yeah, win at home.
Bryce Harper just saw what Aaron Judge did, and he's like, "That's going to be me."
Feed off the crowd.
I like how the analysis is like, well, if every other team makes it into
I am not joking.
If every other team makes it to 5 games, does that mean that we're going to make it to 5 games too, or does that mean that we'll definitely not make it to 5 games?
My logic is sound.
My logic
if we're going
conspiracy, like MLB is going to rig games to advance a series. So yeah, like it wasn't, not going off statistics here.
If we're doing idiot logic, I have an idiot logic for you. I think the Cubs are screwed because I saw Tom Fornelli, our good friend who's on later on in the show, who does not like the Cubs, tweet. So we're going to get 3 out of 4 of the DS series as sweeps. And now the Yankees won. That means the Phillies are going to win, and the Cubs are going to be the only team that gets swept. So that's if we're doing idiot logic.
Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah.
I wanted on the record, I am not doing idiot logic. I'm doing real logic.
Noted.
Because Bryce Harper didn't know that it was possible to hit until he saw Aaron Judge.
Confidence boost. It's just a little. Sometimes you just gotta change your vibe, and that is something that you can build off of. It's like seeing how it can be done.
My dog didn't know that.
It's like getting a read off of a putt.
My dog didn't know that he should lift up his leg to go pee until he saw another dog do it. That's what you're saying that Bryce Harper did with Aaron Judge.
But Hank is saying the opposite. Hank is saying if the Yankees got swept, MLB would have stepped in and been like, we need these other series to go longer.
And how would MLB rig it? Because I feel like baseball might be the hardest one to rig.
The baseballs.
The baseballs.
Well,
yeah,
okay. Well,
he's right.
What would they do?
They would give the when the Brewers and Dodgers are pitching, they'd give them the juiced ones.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it.
I have a question because this came up. I saw there were Yankee fans complaining about they were like the
behind home plate.
The Jays must be cheating. You can't cheat anymore with PitchCom, right? How would you cheat?
You can pick up on like the grip of the ball. Are you talking about like the sign stealing at second base?
That's not cheating.
You're allowed to steal signs on the field.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about that. So how would you cheat?
Cheating in baseball is legal, except if you use electronics. That's my rule. Like use electronics, then if a battery is involved, then that's against the rules.
But PitchCom has kind of eliminated all of this. Like when I saw people, because someone posted the numbers of like the Jays at home versus on the road, and they're like they must be doing something. And then I was like, oh, yeah, they're probably cheating like the Astros. Then I said, I took a second. I was like, wait a second. They're using PitchCom now. That's unless they're hacked into PitchCom. I don't understand how they'd be cheating in a legal way.
I mean, that's possible. A team could hack into PitchCom.
But
then I just have to tip my hat.
Then the players would also have to have an earpiece because no way would they have someone blatantly doing signs or banging on trash they wouldn't be doing the same thing as the Astros anymore.
No, vibrating anal beads like in chess.
That's right. That definitely could happen. we should also mention the other series that was it was rain delay. Mariners are up 2-1. Mariners just they're awesome. Cal Raleigh is the man. The odds of that guy. So there was a guy in the outfield. What it said, dump here was his jersey.
So I saw this guy on TV before the game started.
Yeah, when we were in the studio. Yeah.
He was wearing his dump here 61 custom made shirt. He had it made because Cal Raleigh is on home run. He was sitting on number 60 tonight. And this guy was sitting in left center field. And he's the one dot of green in like a sea of dark, like navy blue Tigers fans. Raleigh hits the home run. It one hops in the bullpen right into the guy's lap. And then he's just standing there holding the baseball up. Even the Tigers fans around him had to just sit there and laugh and applaud him. They're like, hey, good job, man. You called your shot. And then in a tremendous sense of the moment, the guy takes off his shirt and he's wearing a Dump It Here 62 shirt. The guy was wearing two shirts and now he's ready. And then Big Cat, and I looked at a close-up of this guy. I think he might have been wearing a third shirt underneath. That was Dump It Here 63. I don't know how many shirts this guy had, but shout out to this dude because he's awesome. Also,
he got a picture with Cal after the game. The Mariners brought him into the clubhouse.
They brought him back there. Yeah, they need that guy. Buy that guy tickets in left center field for every game, and just let him ball hawk. He's better at his job than foul ball guy is because he called his number and he called his player. Foul ball guy has 18 times the likelihood of catching his intended target than that guy did.
I like the idea. I agree. You have to have him at every playoff game from here on out. He's just the dump here guy.
Yeah. Now I saw me and Big Cat were advised to bet on the Tigers tonight. Mm-hmm. So we did. Mm-hmm. I don't want to name any names. Max did as well. There's a guy that works at our company, and Hank did also. You too, Hank. There's a guy that works at our company.
We had a source.
He's a source. I don't want to say who the source was, but a source hit us up 20 hours before the game saying, huge Major League Baseball bet coming tomorrow. And so then, of course, like if you have 20 hours to prepare yourself for a bet, you're going to take it. You feel like you're launching a nuclear missile. And it was the worst bet of all time.
Yep. The thing that pissed me off the most is it's an off day for the Cubs. We're going to talk about the Cubs and Phillies in a minute when we're back in studio. It's an off day for the Cubs, so I was just going to watch some baseball. I was going to enjoy some baseball. Then I got the text 20 hours beforehand, and I got myself ready. And then I basically just watched the AL Cubs compete in the Tigers, where Logan Gilbert just shoved down their throats for 6 innings. I think he had 7 strikeouts, and I was just watching the same team. I was like, well, I didn't need to do this on my off day to watch a non-competitive baseball game and the Mariners shit down the Tigers' throat. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't need that, but I did it.
Yeah, it was, and then they just kind of teased you at the end.
Yeah, the Mariners brought in that guy who just got teed off on, and then they just pulled him right out. They were just like, all right, that's enough. I think he gave up 3 hits and a walk, and they're like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And then they shut him down. So, Good playoff baseball, though. Great playoff baseball.
Also, Senor Smoke is a great name for a relief pitcher.
Yes.
Great nickname.
Absolutely. Zach, did you enjoy the playoff baseball? I just want to get you some HD camera time.
I did enjoy it. The Aaron Judge's home run was pretty sick. I mean, that thing was gone.
Now,
also, how do you feel if you're...
Go ahead.
Oh, no, nothing.
No, how do you feel if what?
Oh, how do you feel if you're that guy who kind of set it up with that drop ball before?
Oh, brutal.
Is he just – that's a tough day for him.
Yeah. Oh, Hank. We should have asked Memes. Memes, what do you hate the Yankees? Did you think it was a cool home run?
Hate the Yankees. It was a cool home run. Finally got a good baseball game. Also, hockey started tonight, and the Rangers are 0-1, last in the Metro.
They were minus 220 to win that game, weren't they?
Yeah, they lost 3-0.
Wow. Yeah,
it's too early for hockey. I can't deal with hockey right now.
Yeah, the Blackhawks. That actually was very offensive that they made the Panthers raise a banner at 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was stupid.
They should. I don't know. Okay. Great baseball. Let's talk some more baseball on the other side when we're back in studio, and then we got some great interviews. What do you got?
I got one more thing. What was your reaction to the Giannis story from this morning?
Didn't care.
Nothing burger.
That was the biggest nothing story of all time.
Because I saw it and I got so confused why Shams was reporting on this. He reported that over the summer, the one team that Giannis would have agreed to a trade to that the Bucks talked to for a little bit was the Knicks, but they never really got close to a trade. But the situation remains ongoing. Did I sum that up correctly?
Yeah. This to me screams of the Knicks basically being like, hey, make sure you mention us so that people think that we're, the Giannis really wants to be here. And like, make sure you mention us so it's like our fans will be like, oh yeah, they're close to getting Giannis.
Well, Memes disagrees.
Oh, you are close.
I think the Bucks leaked this because they want to move on from Giannis so they could rebuild. The Knicks don't have any first-round picks, so they want a team that has first-round picks to be like, oh, he is available for trade. Let me come in.
I
Let
like
me get a
that
team that has
means.
first-round picks and trade him there.
I
Because Knicks
like
have no
means.
picks to trade. And there was also
I
a report
like
that his wife's moving to Greece, so he might go play in Greece. So it's just fingers.
Fingers.
Then they'd also be waiting for another team that Giannis would like.
Yeah, in theory. But
them putting out there that he would be okay with being traded to the Knicks, that's what made me think that it was leaked by James Dolan.
yeah, but the Knicks don't have anything to trade.
I think it's just getting you conditioned, getting you prepared for an eventual trade to the Knicks.
I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
So we think it's real.
I think the Knicks aren't going to get it done. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that the Knicks wanted their fans to be like, hey, we're in talks for Giannis right now.
I agree with PFT, but I kind of like Meme's new theory. Okay.
Hank?
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah. Nothing ever happens.
No. Unless it's Luka. That was a pretty big thing that happened.
No one knew.
No one knew.
Yeah, no one knew. Okay. Let's kick it to ourselves. We'll talk some more playoff baseball, Monday Night Football. Tom Fornelli, Mario Cristobal, and Meow Mix Jerry. Okay, before we get to the rest of the show, DraftKings NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? There's over 100 years of TDs to pick from. For me, it's the next one because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting part of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NFL right to your fingertips, from first touchdown score to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting. Every snap is loaded with opportunity. I'm going to look real quick on a touchdown score for Thursday Night Football, and I'm going to give you one. And it's not a correct one. It's just one that I will be betting. I'm going to do Cam Scatterbo, plus 140. Didn't score last week for us. He's going to score this week for us.
He's due.
Here's the best part. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Okay, let's. We're going to talk Monday Night Football, but let's first maybe bury Max and I, our baseball team. It was a bad Monday night. The Phils are down 0-2. The Cubs are down 0-2. Do we have any hope, Max? Do we have any hope?
Realist? No, we have no hope. We have no hope.
That was the meekest fight I've ever seen.
But by the time the next game comes around, you're going to convince yourself.
By the time game time starts tomorrow, I'm still gonna say no hope, but don't let us win the night. Don't let us win the night. Territory is coming.
Okay. I heard a rumor around the office that Wednesday night, Game 3, Phillies-Dodgers might be an overalls game.
Something's got to change. Something's got to change.
The stream. I mean, the stream was electric.
That's huge. I mean, that's taking one for the team. That's
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it at all. But I feel there's a chance that I feel like I have to. The only thing that people keep asking me is, "Where's the overalls? Where's the overalls?" And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's the only thing that I haven't done yet.
Pigtails.
Yeah.
Well, I got to start overalls because you got to save something in the chamber.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the
pigtails game is Thursday.
That's the emergency button.
By the way,
like we go down.
Yeah,
we go down looking like a clown. Yeah.
By the way, the rumor was Max came up to me. He goes, I'm thinking overalls." That was where I heard the scuttlebutt.
Even though it might be a bad look if they lose, he's trying to give his team a spark and be a reason that they could win, and that's admirable.
Hank,
absolutely.
Hank, you're such a jerk.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going to game. I will be attending game 3.
Hank is such a jerk.
I'm worried about the Cubs finally putting together maybe some at bats. They stink offensively so bad. This is the second half Cubs that we saw. Shota was bad. We talked about the Matthew Boyd disaster that Craig Counsell got the Cubs into on Saturday. They can't score. They have 3 runs or less in every single game in the playoffs. They went the Brewers just, I don't even know if the Brewers' plan was to go all bullpen. I think they just were like, let's start with bullpen and see where it goes. And they just started striking out every single guy. We had 1 hit after the second inning. We suck offensively. Everyone strikes out. The approach sucks. The pitching is out of gas. We knew that was happening, though. Shota's been out of gas for a while now. Matthew Boyd, been out of gas, had a little bit of resurgence at the end of the year, but then also pitching on short rest. The Cubs are in a bad spot. They're in a very bad spot.
So the Brewers rookie reliever that they brought in, he started for a little bit this season, Jacob Mizrachi. We talked about him like after his first start on the show because he throws the ball harder than fuck.
Yep.
He throws like 104 miles an hour. Apparently, he's just back to being good because Brewers fans at the end of the season were like, yeah, I don't even know if we want this guy on the postseason roster because he might be too young, still learning how to pitch in the big leagues. And then he came back and he hit 104.3 miles an hour, 3 innings, no runs.
Yeah, we tuned him up in August, and that was like, hey, he's not nothing special. He can't locate. He's has a ton of walks, but then he came in on Monday night and was absolutely phenomenal. And the entire Brewers bullpen was phenomenal.
Yeah,
they had like 10 strikeouts,
and things started out
1 hit in the last 6 or 7 innings, whatever it was.
It started out so good when Seiya hit that home run.
Both games, at the top of the first have been awesome, and then it's just completely non-competitive baseball. That's the part that drives me insane. Watching non-competitive baseball, where it's like you're not trying to work counts, you're not trying to do anything different. You're going up there, you're trying to swing, getting struck out, no one on base, just non-competitive baseball, and it's so frustrating to watch. And I do think Craig Counsell has done a bad job in this series, but as much as like I want to be like, hey, you fucked this up with the Matthew Boyd thing, the Cubs cannot hit. That's just plainly what it is. Outside of Michael Busch and Seiya Suzuki, they cannot hit. So what are you going to do? Like Kyle Tucker's hurt and he can't hit. PCA is strikes out. I thought he broke out of it at game 3 with the Padres. He can't hit.
He almost had.
Happ can't hit. None of these guys. Nico's the only one who hits outside of him.
PCA almost had maybe the home run robbery of a lifetime.
Oh my God! I actually
straight away
respect it.
I respect it too because I've done that before playing softball.
Yeah,
the ball was hit probably like what would you say, like 100 feet past him?
It was a good 50 to 75 feet above his head.
Above his head, and he goes back to the wall, makes a just all out effort, tries to high point it. It was a very funny situation in a moment where I'm sure Big Cat, you were very upset and pissed off. But I saw that. I kept replaying and watching it.
It was funny.
I do respect it too. It's like you never know.
He's going all out.
You never know unless you try. And
credit to the Brewers, by the way, because Pat Murphy's been coaching, managing this series perfectly. He threw off the Cubs with Ashby, the opener on Monday night. Got Michael Busch out of the lineup, which I understood. Michael Busch can't hit lefties. It feels like the Brewers are just doing moves, and then Craig Counsell's on his heels trying to do counter moves. And the Brewers are the opposite of the Cubs in the fact that they get guys up, they make contact, they don't strike out a bunch, they have productive playoff at bats, and the Cubs do not. And that's what the series comes down to.
So I read a stat today about Mizrachi in case they bring him back because he did pitch so well in relief.
Dorkiest celebration after that first inning that he was in.
Yeah.
It was.
I would agree.
That's all I have right now.
He's a rookie.
Give me that.
He's a rookie.
Give me that.
He is the least masculine guy that I've ever seen.
Sucked.
That I've ever
sucked.
seen.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on
it
your
was so
side.
lame.
That was so lame.
Well,
Yeah.
he's the lamest dude that can throw 104 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But
I have to. I know that I'm in a bad spot and I'm coping, and this is loser talk. But I need to at least be like, that was lame.
Yeah, no, I hear you 100%. But the good news for you guys is that the second and third times teams see Mizrowski, they get way better offensively. Like, way better. The stat is...
But we've seen him before.
No, but I mean, like, okay, so if they see him multiple times, it gets better. You haven't seen him for a while, though, right?
We saw him in August.
Yeah, in August. So
Like, but we've seen him multiple times. Like, we just stink.
But it's been a long time. Because the stat is that the OPS jumps from 600 to almost 700.
Is this in a game or
Second time through a lineup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
is.
is he's not gonna pitch.
So no, not in the same game.
How many times has he faced?
Oh, you're
multiple
saying
teams?
like ever?
Yeah, so when they face him multiple times in the regular season, they get better against him.
Right, but the only problem is we've seen him, and we didn't get better.
All right, well, I'm just saying it should get better.
I don't even know. Like he doesn't. That's the thing is the Brewers have like they didn't use Priester. They could use him. They can bring back Peralta, Quintana, who's not very good and doesn't scare me, but he can pitch. Like they have slanted this series so perfectly against the Cubs, where it's just Cubs are out of any type of answers. And yes, it sucks not having starting pitching. That's been a killer in this series.
You think Christian Yelich is going to give you a wink at the game?
Maybe. Probably not. He's probably going to be locked in. I'm going to try to save the season on Wednesday, and then I'm going to try to save the season on Thursday. And then don't let us get to Saturday, because we probably won't. I don't know what else to say.
It sucks.
Max, what's your game plan? Who are you throwing? I think we're
So
gonna,
you talk about how you think Craig Counsell's doing a decent job.
That bunt was bad.
It's every decision that he makes seems like the stupid one all series. He's such a good manager in the regular season, and for some reason, the playoffs come around and he shits his pants. He plays scared. He coaches scared.
Yeah. Why do you bunt in that situation? 'Cause
Max,
it feels like in the moment you guys need how many runs? 3 more runs?
No, you need one more.
You need one run. You need one run to tie, but there's no out. You have for the first time all game, the stadium is actually into it. You're actually using Red October to your advantage, and you just kill it by a bunt. Even if you get that bunt down, it's not like the place is gonna pop off.
Right.
Like trust your guy to pull a ground ball or pull a fly ball. It's a left-handed hitter. I get it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, but the chances of winning the baseball game go up so much more if you don't just give up that out. Getting a bunt down is not a guarantee that man is getting over to third base, which we saw. Trust your hitter in that situation. Trust the crowd, the vibes of the crowd to build him up and to build up that team. You just killed it. You just killed everything with that.
Yeah. No, and Max said it. So I was with him because it was the switch over in the cave, and he said, I do not like bunting here. So this is not hindsight. This is what he said in the moment.
No, I'm a big fan of small ball. I love it when like scrappy teams just manufacture runs, just like figure out a way with duct tape and string to get one guy across the plate. But you don't do that late in the game.
No, that's a bunt that you put down in the fourth inning.
It'd be great in the second inning.
Yeah.
It'd be an awesome bunt.
Or even if it's like, I understand it even more if it's like the extra innings in the regular season, because there's no like that guy on second just is a ghost runner there.
It's house money.
It's not like you're feeding off of any momentum. Like it's the momentum that just really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Is that it was the first time the stadium was feeling something, and just ride it. Trust your guys. And the fact that after the game he's like, yeah, I was playing for the tie. I liked where our bullpen was in that spot. Play to win the game.
Yes.
Don't play scared.
Yep.
Yes.
And also
You're
just
right,
make
Max.
plays. The difference between the Dodgers, the difference between the Phillies is that Max Muncy made a perfect play to throw to third, and Trey Turner, there's a screenshot out there right now of where Trey Turner was when he fielded that ball at short, and where Teoscar Hernandez, one of the slowest guy on the Dodgers, was going down the base path. And that should be an out 100 times out of 100. If you just make that throw anywhere near the left side of the plate, he is out. Just make the plays. This team is just not making plays to win the game. Rob Thompson is coaching like a loser. We have Aaron Nola pitching game 3, must win. Basically just because Aaron Nola has been there a long time.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that can make sense. I get it. Ranger Suarez can come out of the pen. Aaron Nola can't come out of the pen because he's never done it before. But the stats are insane. Aaron Nola's postseason stats in his career, he has a above 4 ERA in 53 innings. Ranger Suarez has a 1.4 in 37 2/3 innings. Throw your better pitcher. His reasoning for Aaron Nola is that he's a big time pitcher. Ranger Suarez is a big time pitcher. Pitch your best guys.
Well
I'm
said.
sorry.
No,
Max, I got a question.
I feel it, Max.
Also, like credit to Freddie Freeman. That was an awesome scoop at first base, right?
It was a fine scoop. I think he put on the theatrics of it a little bit. It was a good play. You're a first baseman and you expect yourself to make that.
You thought
play.
too much theatrics after the scoop. I mean,
Yes.
it did save the game.
I know, but that's me. That's me.
I know.
Being
I've never heard you turn down a scoop. That's it must be bad. Max, have you thought about?
good.
You can call me short. It's okay.
No, that was fair. That
Okay.
was fair.
Have you thought about what this series means for this group of guys?
Done. That's it.
This is the end for this group of guys.
If they go down like this,
it's over.
The line, they're already one of the oldest like cores in baseball, and a lot of people contract is up after this year, so you can't just go throw more money at something that isn't working. So like you have to try something else.
Well, it did work. It did work for a while. Like you guys,
You never won a World Series. Never worked.
They never won.
yeah, that's right.
Our top three hitters since Game 6 of 2023 NLCS have a combined 143 batting average and a 544 OPS. There's
bad.
like 200. There's like 200 million a year between these three guys.
Mm-hmm. That's the saddest part about, like, I feel like baseball is the biggest sport when it comes to that, is like the end of this group playing together, especially when they played well for so long. So Max, you might not believe me, but I am rooting for you this series.
Yeah, no, it would be a miraculous comeback. I wish we had our best pitcher pitching in a must-win game.
But you got overalls.
You got overalls.
We're going to try the overalls, and hopefully Rob Thompson...
You're leading by example. Like this, the Phillies should look at you and say...
The vibes of Aaron Nola are going to be right here, even though he has an above 6 ERA in the regular season to Rangers 2-2. And that 2-2 is a lie, but Nola is above 6. I think Rangers 3-2, but I don't know.
Let's go get a win. Let's go get a win tomorrow.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Nola just finds it and you just win game 3. Sanchez comes out, game 4 shoves again, and then anything can happen. Anything can happen game 5. The bank is dead. The bank.
See, that's why you might actually be in a better spot with the Cubs, because the Cubs I do actually think can win game 3, but then I don't know what we do when we have to go back to Boyd and back to Shota. Shota's been cooked for a while now. He just gives up home runs every fucking game.
That's the difference. That's why, in your head it's like win game 3, see what happens, because then you get your ace back on the mound.
We don't have an ace.
So fucking good all year.
Yeah, we got no ace.
Hank, what are your thoughts?
Got no ace.
The Phillies game was tough. I think the Phillies still have a better chance to win than the Cubs.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers are so good. Like that's
the Dodgers are so good.
I think the Phillies are better than the Cubs, but the Dodgers are way better than the Brewers.
If the Phillies can blow out the Dodgers, though, then they can get some momentum.
But that's the thing. Now we see Yamamoto. They just only have aces.
If they shell them,
they gotta shell them.
Yeah, no, that like
you need the bats to come alive.
Yeah,
I need the bats.
Yeah, I need them. I need our top 3 of the order to hit over 143.
You need your starting pitcher to settle down, and then you need
our starting pitchers have been fantastic.
Then you're talking about the starting pitcher for.
Oh no, yeah, right. Game 3.
Yes.
Nola
needs to settle down. Especially like he gives up a couple hits in the first.
Yeah.
Don't panic, settle down.
Panic.
Then you need the bats to wake up.
Yes. I want because Ranger Suarez is
come alive because
first
they're dead
out of
right
the pen.
Now. Yeah.
If Nola gives up 1 run, I want him out
You won't give him a chance to settle down.
Zero chance.
You
I
have
give
to
him
in the
zero
postseason.
chance to settle down.
You have
Smart.
to.
I give him zero chance to settle down. Get him out as soon as possible.
Get him out.
Short leash.
Yeah,
The quickest leash.
I need
the smallest of leashes.
Isn't your dog named Nola?
No. It was.
That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Now you got a short leash on Nola.
Yeah. I just need balls in play. That's what I'm asking for. I need balls in play. The Cubs have struck out 19 times in the first 2 games of the series. Balls in play. 19 is a lot.
We both know what we need.
Yeah. Balls in play. And what was your?
I don't know. Our stars to show up.
Overalls.
I need our top 3 guys to show up because they haven't.
Okay. What, Hank? It's bad. It's dire.
Hank hates it. He hates seeing you guys like
It's
this.
all hands on deck.
It's all hands on deck. You got to fucking
Do whatever you got to do.
just win. Just
be
focus on
be a
winning.
Spark.
Yeah. Go ahead, Hank.
No,
Go ahead.
No, I got.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
saying.
Go ahead.
Be a Spark.
What's the subtext behind all these little things that you've just been jabbing?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
All right, I'll explain it real quick. I was supposed to there was a plan for me to get my big check for winning the 50-50 on Wednesday before the Cubs game. I said I do not want to get the big check. I need to have all my focus on the Cubs winning this game. Hank is trying to set me up for failure to go get the big check.
No.
The Cubs at home this postseason
Spark.
are 2-0 in games that I have nothing to do with the 50-50. They are 0-1 when I've won the 50-50. I am worried that if I go and accept this big check, they'll be 0-2 on games where I've gotten the big check, or won the 50-50. I'm not willing to risk that. I need to focus on the game. It's not about a big check. It's about the game. The Cubs have to win the game. I'm not getting a big check on a potential elimination day. I feel strong about my decision.
I think there's one caveat to this.
That's destiny, though. You can't choose that. It's not your fault it happened to be an elimination game, but it's like that's destiny.
Well, no, that's not destiny. They figured out who won the 50-50, and then they invited me.
Right.
They literally were like, you can come on Thursday, too. And I was like, it's
also an elimination game.
Also elimination game.
Mm-hmm.
So, what?
I think you should accept the check. It's going to be the spark plug that turns the Cubs around, and then it's the same thing as Max in the overall.
I don't want to get I don't want to get a fucking check on the day the Cubs season ends.
Yeah, but imagine if you accept the check and they come back.
I'm going to try to get him to come back by being there,
so
sharing my balls off.
Hank walked in the room when Big Kid and I were talking about the situation. I was telling Big Kid I wouldn't do the check either because of exactly the reasons he's saying. And then Hank goes, "You guys are two losers."
Yeah.
And listen, yes, that is very much operating from a losing mentality, 100%. But then Hank, you're also just encouraging Big Cat to do this to see the misery that follows after he gets
big
check.
check.
No, there's misery. There's misery either way. There's misery either way.
That would be Hank's.
People are going to be
dream.
laughing at you either way.
I'm going to get the big check eventually. They said that they can get me the big check no matter what. I just do not want to do it on an elimination game. I think that's a very appropriate thing to do. I have to focus on the game.
Can I give you an example?
Also, they wanted me to get there at 1:30, and that's 2.5 hours before first pitch, and I do actually have to work a little bit on Wednesday, and I also don't want to sit in the ballpark for 2.5 hours of an elimination game just with my thoughts.
Remember when I wanted to shave my head at the beginning of next season, and Joe Mazzulla told me you can't carry on stuff from this season into next season.
Okay.
That's loser mentality.
All right. If you can get Craig Counsell to call me and tell me to go accept the check, I will accept the check. Fair.
Okay.
That's fair. Okay. What you just said is fair.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you
what if Joe Mazzulla calls you and tells you to accept the check?
But if you're sticking with your
it's
guns,
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You can't have anything to do with the 50-50. You're not allowed to buy any 50-50 tickets.
True.
That's not a fucking rule.
It is.
That's
Max makes a good point.
No,
that's not a rule at all.
Why? Because what if you win?
I will not say that I won. If we lose and I win, I will not say that I won.
You're not allowed to buy 50-50 tickets.
No.
That should be the compromise. If
wrong.
There's also 0% chance that Big Cat wins
Except
50-50.
Wrong.
And then doesn't say that he won if they lose.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like if you run a marathon and don't tell anybody.
Hey, for all everyone knows, I won the 50-50 on Wednesday because if I won it and we lose, you'll never know.
Yeah. I might have done that marathon. Mm-hmm. You don't know.
What if they wanted you to do double big check? Zach just brought up this point.
If I win on Wednesday, all right, I'll make a deal. If I win on Wednesday and they want to do double big check on Thursday, which would also be an elimination game, I will be there for the double big check.
What about this? What if they said Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon, we want to do the big check, but we're going to make the check even bigger than we told you, like mega check. How big
you
does
just got mega check and mega ticket in your brain?
How big does no?
You need to get this guy a big cardboard something.
How big would the check need to be?
I like as big as the American flag that they do in the entire outfield.
If that was the size of the check, you'd say yes. Yeah. If they covered if the tarp was, was the check.
Yes.
Okay.
I need an entire elementary school having to carry out the check.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you feel bad if you won the 50-50 again and
a loss?
At that point, it becomes a jinx.
At that point, actually, no, I will say this. If the Cubs lose tomorrow and I win the 50-50, I will 100% retire from 50-50 for the rest of my life. That's a fact. Because then it would just be like you literally only won on losses, on big playoff losses. Mm-hmm. So that is a fact. But what a way to go out it would be. It would.
You were
go out a winner.
Too good. You had to ban
two-time winner. Had to ban myself. I was bad for the league.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we should talk some football real quick. Monday Night Football was phenomenal. Incredible Monday Night Football game. I wish we had saved this game for when we didn't also have playoff baseball. Mm-hmm. But Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars win a game that the Jacksonville Jaguars never win. And it feels like something's shifting because that last drive – Trevor Lawrence on that last drive, he went from picking his nose, the most blatant picking of a nose on national television, to that last drive where he started it with a 40-second run for 3 yards that when they needed time, made an incredible – Travis Hunter made an incredible play. Brian Thomas, that was a great pass. Delay a game on the goal line, then falls down and somehow gets up and scores a touchdown, and you're like, holy shit, the Jaguars actually did it.
Yeah, that is a game that the Jaguars lose, and that's a game that the Chiefs win all the time. It was kind of crazy to see the Chiefs because, like, we've all seen these games from the Chiefs where the other team ends up being like, what the fuck just happened?
Yep.
But what we're seeing with the Chiefs, I don't think it's like a loss of their weird black magic voodoo or whatever. I think it's that the Chiefs, they're starting to lose games in ways that are familiar to every other team out there, to every other fan base. They look like all of us now.
Yeah.
So like when people talk about, is this the end of the road for the Chiefs? I'm starting to think that it might kind of be their regression back to being just like kind of a normal good football team.
Well,
which is still a good place to be. Like talk to a Cardinals fan and be like, can you believe that a team lost because their defensive lineman just didn't move on a goal line stand and the guy fell down and then walked in? They'd be like, oh yeah, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Like these types of losses that the Chiefs are experiencing now, they're super familiar to all. We've seen our own teams do this. And so for me, it's more about seeing the Chiefs and being like, oh, I can see some of myself in the Chiefs now, which I've never been able to do with the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid combination.
Yeah, the Devin Lloyd 99-yard pick return, which was electric. But yeah, to back up your point, even with stats, a lot of the NFL, the teams are so close to each other. Obviously, the Chiefs are very, very good. They were very, very good last year before. They won the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, whatever. It is a lot of times the margins are the bounce of the ball and like a little bit here, a little bit there in these close games. Last year, the Chiefs were 10-0 in 7-point games decided by 7 points or less. This year, they're 0-3.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like they're getting blown out. They're just not winning the close games that they won literally all of last year. And that was the Chiefs now have their third loss. Last year, their third loss was in the Super Bowl.
Damn. Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy. I still think the Chiefs will be in the playoffs. They do have to play the Lions on Sunday night.
They got a tough schedule.
Not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. But I was more like walking away from that impressed with the Jaguars because it feels like not the Jaguars are set and going to be a Super Bowl, but that is a game they always lose.
Yeah,
it's a game they always lose.
They should also be 5-0.
Yeah. Very good. Jake Browning, that Travis Hunter defensive pass interference call away from being 5-0.
And when Trevor Lawrence jumped over the offensive line on the goal line, that was in the first half, I think, right? And it got knocked out of his hand like maybe a centimeter before it crossed the goal line.
I think he might have scored.
It was close enough where it was like, I don't know.
Saw a screenshot that looked like he scored.
Yeah, you can get screenshots.
Oh, yeah,
you can have some copium screenshots and be like, look, we should have blown the Chiefs out. That to me at that moment, I was like, oh, the Jaguars are fucked.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those nights for them. But then things kind of started to turn the other way, and kickers absolutely love illegal procedure penalties when it's late in the fourth quarter and it's like a close game.
Yep.
They love kicking the ball out of bounds, and then the announcer's going, "Oh, that's the one thing you can't do there.
Can't do it.
You got to be better than that." But yeah, Trevor Lawrence looked good. For the most part, Trevor Lawrence looked really good. He ran a good amount.
He looked erratic, but erratic worked.
Yeah, erratic, but like
Travis Hunter
awesome.
showed out a little.
Yeah, there were some moments, and I think Trevor described his game-winning touchdown run as just panic.
Yeah.
Like he was on the ground, tried to get up, panicked, fell down again, tried to get up again, and then he just had to like scoot his ass in the end zone. But yeah, Chris Jones on that last play, not great.
No.
Not a great visual for Chris Jones to be putting on tape. He just kind of like stood up, and to his credit, it was late. He was probably tired.
Yeah.
It was the fourth quarter of a game. He'd been exercising for like an hour and a half, so he was tired.
Tired.
And he just stood up and just didn't really seem like he wanted to move at all. And it was like kind of Albert Hainsworth like.
Yeah, it was. It was a tough look. Also, great block by the guard on that play, where the tackle of the Jaguars got him held up, and then just the guard finished him, and that was basically what sprung him. You guys want a crazy stat?
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time that the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens all lost in the same week since
2015.
2019.
Week 9 of 2017.
Oh, shit.
Crazy. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson were still in college, and Patrick Mahomes hadn't taken a single snap.
It's new era.
Fuck them.
Also, we had this idea on Wake Up Barstool this morning, but there really should be commissioners for each division in the NFL because the AFC South needs some better PR. They're really good now. Colts are 4-1, Jaguars are 4-1, Texans are kind of turning it around with they're 2-3. Even the Titans won. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a commissioner for each division?
Yeah, I mean,
just had like commercials and stuff, and you're like, yeah, hey, here at the AFC South, we actually play winning football now.
It would be great if they all had commissioners and all the commissioners lobbied to get them into the playoff at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But they still use the same criteria
Correct.
to get into the playoffs at the end of the year. But you still have guys like out there shilling, be like, this is why we actually deserve 4 teams in the playoffs this year.
Hey, we welcome on the commissioner of the AFC West this week. And like the negative ads would be very funny too if the AFC South was like, hey, everyone thinks we suck.
Yeah, but how do you get an unbiased commissioner?
No, you need the most biased.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
But like, how do you get out? No, I'm saying like an unbiased commissioner that's not biased towards any of the teams in the.
They're rooting for the division.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would qualify for that?
I mean, I was kind of the
Anyone?
NFC Beast commissioner for a little bit.
Biased.
I could do the AFC South right now. I got no ties to any of these teams. I'd just be like, hey, do you know the AFC South has 2 teams that are 4-1? Did you know that
Texans is your pinky team?
Yeah, I know, and then I would just do some negative campaigning too. I'd be like, hey, do you know the AFC North, the best quarterback in the AFC North starting this week is a 41-year-old?
Then I'd be like, hey, the AFC North, actually, that's a system conference.
Yeah.
Because they just all have Joe Flacco.
Are we sure the NFC West is good? Ask yourself that.
AFC South should be like, hey, did you know that Jacksonville is actually the largest market by square miles in the United States?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It's the biggest city in the country.
You know, in the AFC South, people don't talk about 3/4 of the teams not having Mark Sanchez get stabbed in their city.
Did you know that in the AFC South, we don't pay state income tax except for Indy?
Yeah, this is the type of shit we need.
Yeah.
It's good.
It'd be good.
I want this. I just want to watch. I want to watch like a football game and see just an attack ad on a certain division.
Right. Like, yeah. Okay.
Like,
and
the NFC South sucks.
The one,
they have the Bucks, but what else?
The one city where Mark Sanchez does get stabbed, it sounds like it's really easy to have a huge party night.
Yeah,
in that city,
it was actually his fault.
It sounds like there's some great things. Great party favors in Indy.
Oh, is there more to the story that came out?
I said sounds like.
Sounds like.
I said sounds
That's
like.
alleged.
Yeah.
Speaking of divisions, we do have Joe Flacco now on the Cincinnati Bengals. Thank you, Bengals. A huge, I don't know how you guys took the news, but I had just a huge sigh of relief because I'm excited to watch Joe Flacco in primetime.
I had a huge sigh of relief, and then I had a huge gasp of panic when I remembered the state of the offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
And then I remembered that Joe Flacco is 41 years old.
But guess what? He can just throw it up to Jamar.
He could.
He can just throw it to Jamar.
He could throw it to anyone.
He can throw it to anyone, but especially Jamar.
Especially Jamar. But will he have enough time to take one step and throw a pass to Jamar?
Yes.
I hope he will.
Yes.
My biggest takeaway is that Thanksgiving is now safe.
Yes.
Like at least Joe Flacco saved Thanksgiving. We didn't want Jameis.
Nope.
We never wanted that. We wanted Joe this whole time. It's gonna be great.
That's exactly what we wanted.
No, it's like we have Jameis at home.
Yeah.
And it's Joe's Jameis at home.
Yeah.
Also, why did Brett Rippon get cut?
I don't know.
Because they cut one. So I don't understand.
Here, pardon my take. We're asking the real question. Everyone's wondering.
I don't understand. I don't understand that part of it. It's like, how is Brett Rippon the scapegoat for Jake Browning?
Well, did like how many quarterbacks they have?
If Jake Browning beats Brett Rippon in a competition, and that's how bad Brett Rippon is, so just cut him.
I don't know how much worse that could be.
Yeah, but how many
exactly?
Do they have another backup quarterback? Is that
Sean Clifford? Is he still there?
I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to just bring him back to practice squad, right? That's got to be what's going to happen.
Yeah, I just didn't know why he had to take the fall for that.
That's the real
Brett Rippon didn't do anything wrong.
That's the real thing people aren't talking about. Wait, was he named the starter, Joe Flacco?
Yeah, so from what I read, they're like, Joe, he's a quick learner, so we hope that he can make an impact against the Packers.
Oh.
So Joe just got done playing against Micah Parsons. He beat the Packers, actually.
Yeah, he beat the Packers.
So he maybe they just sign him for a week. Be like, this is our Packers specialist.
Yeah.
Teach our defense how to be good against the Packers, please.
Go beat the Packers. All right, let's do Hot Seat Cool Throne. And then we got a great trio of interviews. We got Tom Fornelli talking college football. We got Mario Cristobal, head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. And interview I love doing. We got Jerry from the Meow Mix podcast that is now defunct, talking to him about what happened when a football team is so bad it makes you stop doing a podcast about that team. Mm-hmm. Hank, Hot Seat Cool Throne.
My hot seat is the NCAA tournament.
This is happening, isn't it?
It seems like it's happening. Not this year, but next year.
It was always going to happen. This is how I feel like back when people like invented the printing press and the Luddites like burned the barns that they were in. Like, fuck you, technology. I'm going to stand here screaming about how I hate this, but there's really nothing I can do about it. And I just know that expansion is going to continue to happen.
Do they not realize that like a lot of the fun of the March Madness is the lead up and the bubble watch, and now the bubble watch is basically done?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the bubble watch is over.
We have
no more bubble watch.
They're taking away one of our favorite things, which is to spend exactly 24 hours being pissed off about a team that didn't get in.
What do you think Joe Lunardi's thinking, or do you think he's probably sleeping?
Oh, no, this is good for Joe Lunardi. More teams
but
being in the bubble.
Teams really kind of...
No, but more teams like being talked about for the bubble. This is... I feel like Joe's behind this.
Well, it'll be the same amount of teams talking.
It's like basketball, though, where it's like all the teams that are
it's basically just going to be
are going to suck.
Yeah, it's basically just teams above 500 are going to go.
No, but there are going to be so many more like average teams that think maybe we'll get in, and they'll click on Joe's articles to see if they're like first 4 in, first 4 out, next 4 out.
Maybe. If you're on the bubble in a 72,
the bubble
team,
just
you
moved.
don't deserve to be on the bubble.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not going to be able to be as mad about teams getting left out.
Right.
But
and I hate that. I
ruined everything.
I like getting mad about that.
And there's also just going to be so many teams that I don't want to see play more basketball.
This is great news for Villanova.
Great news.
We suck. I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this mean that all conference champions will not play in the first round?
I don't know.
You know what I'm asking?
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
I think it's bullshit that they do playing games for conference.
Oh, the play-in games.
Yes.
Yeah. The first 4.
Got it.
I agree with that.
Oh, like the 16 seeds.
Like, it sucks that the 16 seeds don't even get to actually make the tournament.
I agree with that.
So I'm hoping that this will at least eliminate that.
All at-large teams.
Yeah. I don't know the rule. I thought maybe.
When is the extra games going to be played? Is it going to be the Tuesday, Wednesday?
Probably that. Yeah, Monday.
I mean,
Tuesday,
listen,
Wednesday,
when they give me more basketball, I'm going to watch some more basketball, but I am not happy about it.
Yeah.
Okay, your cool throne?
My cool throw is Amazon Prime Day.
Yes.
Stella Blue Coffee.
30% up to 30% off Stella Blue Coffee. Go buy. Save some dogs.
I also wrote this down last night when I thought the LeBron decision was going to be an ad for Amazon Prime. Turned out it was just an ad for Hennessy.
Yeah, that was so lame by LeBron.
I thought that it was going to be a major announcement.
Yeah.
I thought he was really going to do. Yeah. I can't believe LeBron lied to us.
I didn't realize this, but I was talking to Titus about it, and because I was like, yeah, I think LeBron's going to retire within the next year or two. He was saying that he doesn't think LeBron's going to retire till 2028 when the Olympics are in LA. That's so much more LeBron.
I think
that's so much more LeBron.
I think one more year.
I think one more year, then he starts his own league and Olympics.
But the Olympics makes sense. That will be the last basketball he plays, the Olympics in 2028.
I thought Hank was saying he starts his own league, then he starts his own Olympics.
No, but he starts his own league, stays in shape, and then Olympics.
Yeah. I do think that he's going to do the thing where he creates a rival league to the NBA and just tries to take them down.
Yeah. Okay, PFT, your hot seat cool throw.
My hot seat is fake news media that clamors on to people making obscene gestures when that's not actually what they were doing. So if you consider yourself a member of that fake news media, you're on the hot seat because the video of Jerry Jones where he appeared to flip off fans.
Okay.
Memes, did you see that? Jets fans? It turns out that was a big misunderstanding. Jerry said that was unfortunate. There was a swarm of Cowboys fans out front. It was right after we made our last touchdown. I put up the wrong show of hand. The intention was thumbs up. So he accidentally flipped him off instead of giving a thumbs up.
It's
class act.
all the time, yeah.
Class act.
Very class act.
It happens. I don't know why people got upset about it. The league fined him $250,000, which feels like a lot of money for a simple mistake. He's an old man. His hands don't work right all the time. He tried to give you a thumbs up memes.
I loved it.
Yeah. That's just a New York hello.
More owners should do it.
Yeah. I agree with that.
What David Tepper do?
He stole a man's hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Just flip them off.
David Tepper should have said, little misunderstanding. I meant to tip my hat to the guy, not take his hat. My hands got confused.
It was a perfect middle finger and then point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the middle finger point. You.
Yeah. Flipped you off.
Yeah,
that
is good.
I just love Jerry being like, yeah, that was my hand messed up.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate. Then my cool throne is Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid's on the cool throne. He just signed a contract going back to the Oilers, and it's a pretty team-friendly deal. I'd say it's like a very steep hometown discount.
$12.5 million
for McDavid. That sounds right.
2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. So people are excited to have him back in Edmonton. See if he can win the big one. To me, when I saw this one of two things.
I think you're about to say the same thing that I said to Jans earlier.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
So one of two things popped in my head when I saw the hometown discount. One, does he have some sort of tree planting deal on the side? Or I don't know what they do up in Edmonton, like icicle planting.
I didn't think that. But yes.
And then two, this seems like it would be very easily tradable.
Bingo.
Very, very
to a team that is contending.
Very, very easily tradable contract.
Yeah, he basically. I mean, it's smart by him. He's like, hey, if I take a shitload of money and I want to go try to play for a cup. Now, obviously, you could also say he took less money so that the team could get better. You got to hope the Oilers do that. But if in a year and a half the Oilers aren't competing, and he can go somewhere for a year and a half and it doesn't fuck up some team's cap, interesting.
Like if you were a GM, maybe like a brand new GM in hockey, new to the league, would you just make a call today?
Yeah.
And be like, hey, can we trade you for Connor McDavid?
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Like we'll take him. We'll throw in a lot of stuff.
I'm happy for Oilers fans though, because I hope Connor McDavid stays in Edmonton. That would suck if he leaves.
I agree.
I hope he wins a cup. I'm going to start rooting for him to win a cup this year. Should we put a future on him?
I think it would be great, and I'm rooting for him in theory. It is a lot of fun to make fun of our friends that love him. Friend. We have one friend who's in love with him.
I'm going to root for Connor McDavid this year. I'm going to say it right now. I'm rooting for Connor McDavid.
100%. Not as a troll.
Not as a troll. I'm going to put real money on it.
Until the Olympics.
Yeah, then I hope he fucking gets smushed.
Yeah.
Hope we kick his ass.
What's the Canadian exchange rate? Does that make it even more of a team-friendly deal?
Loonies?
Yeah. How many loonies is 12 million United States dollars?
I don't know.
Or is he getting paid 12.5 million loonies a year?
Probably throwing in some Timbits.
This is great having Max look up currency exchanges.
We're going to be here a while.
This is going to be good.
Oh, no.
Max, when it says pounds, that's actually
$1. $1 was worth approximately $72 US. 1 loony.
No.
1 loony is worth
72 cents.
Okay. All right.
Of a US dollar.
Okay, so that's a super team-friendly deal.
I was trying to talk over you calling me fat.
That's, yeah. Good call.
All right. My, that was your cool throne, right?
My other cool throne is Baton Rouge. Go to Baton Rouge on Friday. Pup Punk is playing at Fred's. It's one of my favorite bars in the entire world.
Best college bar in America.
At Fred's, we do the fucking, right?
Yep.
The good people at Fred's took care of our dear sweet boy Hank when he was on the Dixie tour, brought you in, clothed you, bathed you, took you in off the street. It's an awesome bar. We're going to have a lot of fun. Me, Roan, Caroline, Robbie Fox, Frankie, and Nick are going to be playing there in Pup Punk on Friday. And so come out, see us. I think it's free. So just come get drunk with us. Have a good time. And can we put the new song at the end of the show? Peaked in High School?
Yeah.
That's the one that we got hot.
Don't copyright us.
Mark Hoppus, I won't strike you. Mark Hoppus in the interview gave us a sample to use on Peaked in High School. Yeah. So it's featuring Mark Hoppus, technically.
That would be funny if you copyrighted us.
I might do it.
All right, my hot seat is the human brain, because the Wall Street Journal had an article today that the human brain can hold how many meaningful relationships in their life? Anyone want to take a guess?
1, the Lord.
How many meaningful relationships can the human brain hold at one time?
4.
I think.
How many friends can you have?
Well, does it count like parents, family?
I don't know. Maybe. I didn't read the article.
Okay.
What if it's 0?
It's 150.
Oh,
which
shit.
is way too many.
Yeah. No, that's just not true.
Who has 150 friends?
It's not true.
It's insane.
Max says he's goes to a wedding every week.
I'm not using any of my friends.
Yeah,
That's a
no.
good point.
150 friends is actually pretty easy once you get into wedding
season.
Wedding culture, yeah.
Yeah. I was shocked by that.
People are going to get cut.
I thought the answer was going to be like 12.
Yeah, I was thinking even less than that.
Yeah, like this room.
Now I feel like a loser.
And like 5 other people.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this room, family, Jaden. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there. And then my cool throne is Jalen Hurts, because what?
You're gonna say some bullshit.
No, I'm not.
It's on the cool throne, not the hot seat, dude.
It's the cool throne,
point,
dude.
Yeah. I don't need to be this negative, Max.
The wide angle of the Hail Mary came out, and Jalen Hurts tried to get his own rebound. And I will say this, if people didn't see it, he literally threw the Hail Mary and then sprinted to the end zone to try to get it if it bobbled and somehow landed back at him. I'll say this right now. If that ever happens, that will be the coolest play in all of sports.
Yeah.
I thought it was fake at first.
Sports
it was
history.
Like AI. He was flying.
That was sports history.
The fact that he got as far down as he did was
if there was 2 bobbles, he would have been there.
Follow your shot.
Incredible.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. A.J. Brown would have been pissed.
Yeah.
That would have been very funny, actually. But yeah, look at him go.
It's incredible. He went to try to get it.
I've never seen a quarterback do that before.
Yeah.
I really like this play, Max.
Yeah.
That was good.
Really, really like this play.
Thank you for no slander.
Did you guys think that Patrick Mahomes kind of didn't throw it as far as I thought he would?
His arm is dead.
I'm not saying that it wasn't far, but it wasn't
far at all. It looked like Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl.
It's
Yo,
not.
yeah, you remember that?
It's not Baker's arm.
he
It's
threw
not
from,
Josh
like-
Allen's
He stepped on
arm.
a foot.
He threw from like the 40-yard line and didn't make it to the end zone.
He stepped on a foot.
And then Max said any quarterback can throw a Hail
Stepped on
Mary.
a foot.
How far was the Mahomes throw?
We need to look at the air yards on that.
I
because
just don't think it was like Josh Allen and Baker can definitely throw.
It was from the 20 to the 20.
So that would
So
be
60 yards.
60 yards.
But the way that he wound up for it, I thought maybe there's a chance he gets to the goal line.
I did too. I was like, holy shit, this one's actually going to go from the 20 to the. It's like 63 yards.
But still, like
I
always assumed that he could throw it as far as he wanted to.
It says-
Right.
Like
it
there's no
says-
limit.
It says 68
It's not
68 yards,
68.
and Baker Mayfield threw a post route 64 yards. That's what this guy Joe A. NFL says.
Joe Milton would have made it from the goal line.
Joe
Milton.
Milton.
Yeah. You can't say that, Max. You can't say that. You said you wouldn't talk about him like that anymore after he fucked our over. Thank you.
But
Zach,
you know that he could. He could throw it.
He definitely could.
The man threw an orange 100.
Don't even smile, Max.
Max, you remember when he threw that orange? And then he said that he threw the ball out of Topgolf?
You know I love Joe.
Shut up. Cut that. Delete.
No, don't. We're keeping that at freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
That over loss started that was a domino of just losses.
Also, in that Monday night game, Trevor Lawrence just does not know where the line of scrimmage is. Ever.
Nope.
Ever. He's never going to learn.
He's the number one run past the line of scrimmage and throw it guy.
Did you guys have the sound on?
I did not.
Troy Aikman kind of roasted him. He's like, sometimes Trevor doesn't really know where he is on the field, and this is him making another one of those plays again. He just has no idea where the sticks are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he played well. It was just erratic. It's just chaotic.
Yeah.
Sometimes with Trevor Lawrence, which I like. He actually might be like our new, like, Jameis Phillip Rivers hybrid.
I'd say more along the lines of Phil.
Yeah. But a hybrid. All right, Zach, finish us off.
My hot seat this week is Drake. Are you guys familiar with Travis Scott and Kendrick Lamar?
The McDonald's guy?
Oh, no, not the McDonald's guy. Travis Scott, musician. Kendrick Lamar, also musician.
Didn't Travis Scott have a McDonald's?
Yeah, he's a McDonald's guy.
I take it back. Definitely a McDonald's guy. Definitely had a McDonald's order. That's on me, big cat.
He's the golf shoes guy. Travis Scott.
Also the golf shoes guy from the coin flip.
Yeah.
Great coin flip there.
Kardashian lover?
Also,
Daddy.
Jenner, baby daddy.
Baby daddy.
Kardashian adjacent baby father.
We know Travis Scott.
Travis Scott did surpass Drake's God's Plan Goosebumps featuring Kendrick Lamar 17 times platinum. One time platinum is 100 or 1.5 billion billion listens. He did it 17 times.
Holy shit.
So Drake's in the hot seat because the guy that he also was beefing with just passed him up.
Is that the most listened to?
Most, I believe so.
That's crazy.
That's
so 1.5
nuts.
billion times 17.
That's a lot of billion.
You got to get a special calc for one of those. That's
wait.
like a Texas Instruments situation.
Are you saying that it's like 1.7 billion times 17? That's the amount of listens that he has.
1 billion times 17.5.
So 1.5 billion
I
streams
was wrong.
is 1 times platinum, and it's 17 times platinum.
17 times 1.5.
Oh, so it's like 20 something billion.
Tons of billions.
So many billions.
Yeah, and Drake had a issue with the guy that's featured on the song, so it's just a bad look. So he's definitely his seat's super hot.
Okay.
And then my cool throw in this week is Julian Brown. He's an inventor out of Atlanta. He found a way to turn plastic waste into fuel, 110 octane gasoline. 22 years old. I just think that's the coolest throw ever because he might leave something after life that affects the world for the rest of time.
Now, did he actually do it, or is this like an Elizabeth Holmes situation where he's got a company that everyone's going to invest in, and then he's like, just kidding, I was burning the Tupperware in the back of my house.
There's tons of videos of him, like he's posted like step by step on Instagram and TikTok of him building the machine at his home that can turn the plastic waste into fuel.
That's badass.
And he's finally figured a way to do it.
Okay, yeah, I like this. And dude, that is badass. What a G.
And he calls it Plastoline.
Plastoline, yes, sir.
That's a great name.
It's they started up a 2023 Dodge Charger wide body.
That's
with
awesome.
the Plastoline.
That's very
good for him.
What is plastic made of? Is that also made of oil?
The composition of plastic, I'm not 100% sure on. I'd be lying to you if I said I was. I can find out for us, though.
Regardless, this guy's a genius if that's what he did.
Yeah, 22, which is crazy.
That is crazy. That's nuts.
Plastoline.
Plastic is made of cellulose and coal, salt, and crude oil.
Okay.
But he's converting like your milk jugs.
He's recycling, yeah.
So shout out to Julian.
Shout out Julian. That's sick. Okay, let's get to our interviews. We got college football talk with Tom Fornelli, then Mario Cristobal, then Jerry from Meow Mix, and we're going to finish up with FAQs. Okay, before we talk some college ball with our good friend Tom Fornelli, want to talk to you about Chevy. Football season is here, and whether you're grinding through the week or gearing up for the kickoff, there's one ride that's always game ready, Chevy Silverado. The Chevy Silverado is a longtime partner, pardon my take, and our favorite truck, and it's all about grit. From job site to tailgate, Silverado lets you show up strong and tackle any task. Built for the hustle, ready for the game, Silverado is America's most dependable full-size truck. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Head to Chevy.com to learn more and build your own Chevy Silverado today. Okay, here he is, our good friend, Tom Fornelli. All right, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest. It is Tom Fornelli talking college football. We are in week 7. It has been an awesome football season so far. A lot of teams that we thought were going to be good are not good. A lot of teams we didn't think were going to be good are good. Let's start, Tom, because I want to do a little look back on week 6, but also look forward to week 7. But let's start with the biggest story, Penn State, James Franklin. Is there any chance they buy out James Franklin and move on from him?
I mean, I can't say there's not any chance. I don't know if I'd consider it likely, but you see, this week after the UCLA lost, there are columnists from every single outlet, it feels like, writing is it time for James Franklin and Penn State to go opposite directions, to finally part ways. So it's the first time you've kind of seen that, which is typically a sign that it might be coming. But I don't know, because I think it's a dangerous proposition, because there's no excuse for what happened last week at UCLA. Losing in double overtime to Oregon, fine. We all typically thought that was going to happen. That's been Penn State's problem all along. But these games against UCLA are just the games that Penn State has always won under James Franklin. So it's going to lead to this kind of discussion, but it's also a situation where I don't know what your goal would be if you fire James Franklin. Who are you going to replace him with who can realistically do a better job than James Franklin has been doing?
Yeah.
Because it reminds me kind of like a situation that we saw, when Nebraska fired Bo Pelini. They thought that they could do better. And we know how that's gone for them since. They have not done better. And you look at Penn State as a program, it's one of the best programs in the country. It has been for a long time. But even with that being said, they've won 2 national titles in their history. The last one was over 40 years ago in 1986, or just under 40 years ago. If you want to count 1994, it was over 30 years ago. So it's not like this was a program that was winning national titles constantly or competing for them. Joe Paterno's got the only ones to the program's name. And even Joe Paterno, it took him 16 years before he finally won his first national title, which is not to say I think Penn State just needs to give James Franklin 5 more years and he'll break through. But I don't really put this on him as much as I put it on everybody hyping this team up a little too much because of everything that they had coming back. And we were just looking around. It's there are so many questions at all these other programs. Penn State's got all these dudes coming back. Maybe this is the year. And I mentioned it when I was on before the season started. Yeah, they did have a lot coming back, but they also did not have their best player on offense and their best player on defense. And the guys who did come back from last year didn't really win a national title. They won playoff games against SMU and Boise State, and then they lost to Notre Dame as soon as they ran into another real team in the playoffs. So I think the expectations were probably too high, which I don't think is fair to James Franklin if he's going to lose his job now, but I could see it happening. I don't think it's likely because of the available coaches. Who are you bringing in to replace him? Who's the guy that you say, oh, yeah. But it's Kurt Signetti. He could leave Indiana for Penn State.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I spent years hearing that he was going to go to West Virginia. In my mind, I was like, he's only going to end up at West Virginia. That's the only school. And then he made statements kind of not necessarily saying that, but to that effect. And then he goes to Indiana, major pay bump. I understand why he takes that job. He's winning there. If Penn State offers him just an incredible amount of money, I don't think that there's anything that's tying Kurt Signetti to Bloomington.
I think Penn State is one of the jobs he would definitely leave Indiana for. I think there are a lot of jobs that have come open or are likely to come open that he's been mentioned for that I don't really see as upgrades over Indiana, which I know it's weird, but we're in a very new situation now where Indiana has money and they're spending it on their football program and might be in a better spot. But the problem is if you're Penn State and you're hiring Kurt Signetti, he's 64. So it's not like he's a long-term answer. So it's I feel like if you're going to replace James Franklin, you need to find your own Dan Lanning kind of hire, but Dan Lanning obviously isn't going to leave Oregon for Penn State. And it's just, I don't know that guy's available.
All right. So
would you get Matt Rule from Nebraska, bring him home? Is he the answer?
Yeah, that doesn't really fix it. So the last thing about Penn State, obviously 2 losses, haven't beaten a Power 4 program yet. If Penn State were to somehow run the table, is Penn State going to be in the playoffs? Do they still have that in front of them?
Yeah, if they run the table, they're in. Because if they run the table, they pick up wins at Ohio State and Indiana along the way. And you might also be in the Big Ten championship if you're 7-2 in conference play, especially if you beat Ohio State. So I would think that 10-2 with a win over Ohio State along the way would be enough to get you in as an at-large, even with the UCLA kind of anchor around your neck. But the reality of the situation is the odds of Penn State running through the rest of their schedule winning out are very low.
Yeah.
Because, like they have to play at Ohio State. And then the very next week they're playing Indiana. And it's like they'll probably lose the Ohio State game and maybe they beat Indiana. But if you're 9-3 with a win over Indiana, that's probably going to knock you out of the at-large discussion pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm glad Big Cat asked that because I was going to ask you a similar thing about the SEC. What is the most surprising SEC team that you think could run the table and make the playoff?
That could run the table from here on out. I would say Texas A&M. I do think that they are legitimately good. Like I was skeptical of them early in the year. I thought the offense was fine. I thought like they really hit on the portal at receiver with Concepcion and Craver. The defense looked like ass though for like the first 3 weeks of the season, but they've kind of figured things out and gotten their act together the last few weeks. And I think that this is suddenly a team that is exceeding expectations, who has a ton of talent on offense at the skill positions, is strong along the lines of scrimmage, and the back end of that defense, which was struggling earlier in the year, is starting to look a lot better. So I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying they strike me as a team that is much better than anybody truly expected, which is not something you can say about most programs in the SEC or the Big Ten. It feels like almost everybody except for like Ohio State and Oregon have been somewhat of a disappointment.
Yeah. All right. So the next big question I had for you, how happy do you think Steve Sarkisian is that James Franklin and Penn State exist? Because it really does feel like the majority of the discussion online has been James Franklin and Penn State. Meanwhile, Steve Sarkisian, Texas is an utter disappointment. Arch Manning does not look ready. They put, this was a whole thing. Like, this is Arch's year. I bought it. I'm an idiot. I believed in it. What is going on? Are they going to potentially bench Arch at some point? Like, Oklahoma's defense this weekend is legit. And now you got to go play them at the Red River. It could get even worse than it's been, and it's been bad.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll bench him because, honestly, I don't know that they have an option behind him that they feel is truly an upgrade. I do think you're right, though, about Sark, because a lot of the narratives that James Franklin gets hammered with, you can kind of hit Steve Sarkisian with the same ones. And Texas has been very disappointing. Like, that was a team that had to replace nearly its entire offensive line. It replaced a whole bunch of guys. And defensively, they're still right there. I think on the defensive side of the ball, Texas is still one of the best teams in the country. But offensively, they just haven't been there. Arch has been a huge problem with it, but I don't think he's the only problem. I think he garners most of the attention, though, because of all the hype that was surrounding him heading into the season. And I am surprised. Like, I knew when Arch came out of high school that he wasn't really ready to be a starter in the SEC or at that level. But I thought like the last few years sitting on the bench, developing behind Quinn Ewers, like we were going to see a much more polished player than what we have seen to this point. He just looks like a freshman, even though he's now in his third year on campus. So I think that is very alarming. I think the fact that they can't run the ball because the offensive line can't block anybody is also very alarming and not helping the situation. And you look at them like with that schedule, everybody was talking before the season that in the context of the SEC, Texas is actually catching some breaks. The schedule is not that difficult. Well, it looks a whole hell of a lot more difficult now with the way that they've been playing. And it's really hard to imagine that they're going to get to the playoff. I really don't think they've got a shot of getting to Atlanta. So it's like at large or best. But the way that they're going, unless Arch, like the light flips on and he's able to recognize what a defense is doing before the snap and get the protections right, which I think he's really struggling to do right now, I just don't see Texas being able to pull this off. Like, they're not going to fall off a cliff, but 7-5,
that's
kind of within the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
it is, but they'd still get to a bowl game, though. You know what I mean? They're not going to finish 5-7 or 4-8.
But that's not like Texas has fired coaches for reaching bowl games. Like that's not what they're looking to do. And if the name on the back of your jersey says Manning and you're the quarterback at Texas, the expectations are so high that that would be 7-5 would be a big disappointment in Austin.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just I don't think that, like, for me, wheels falling off is not getting to a bowl game. And I think that if you're a Texas fan, like, you can look at the schedule and you can say, well, look, we lost to 5 really good teams, man. You know, Ohio State and Oklahoma and all these teams made the playoff, and you can kind of feel good about it.
Florida, they need Florida to win some more games so that they can say, hey, Florida actually not that bad of a team that we lost to.
They aren't. Billy Napier with his back against the wall might be the best coach ever. He literally just get him almost fired, and he'll start performing.
He might get off for the Penn State job.
Yeah.
The thing about Florida is like all the promise pinned on that team in the preseason, because everybody knew the schedule was just incredible. Like they were going through the gauntlet every single week. But it was always like, yeah, but if DJ Lagway starts to live up to his potential, man, they're going to be so good. And last week was the first time DJ Lagway looked like the guy everybody thought he could be. And he was dealing with injuries all offseason. He looked kind of, not 100% to start the year. You could tell that the lack of practice time in the offseason had impacted him. But last week, he looked like a guy who was finally starting to get comfortable. And if the DJ Lagway we saw last week is the guy they have for the rest of the year, Florida's going to beat some teams. They're not going to get to the playoff, but they're going to pick up a couple more wins that leave people kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Tom, there was a rumor that was floating around the internet this week. I wanted to go to you because I feel like you'd be more plugged in than anybody else. Are you familiar with the sources that have Mateer coming back for the Red River shootout? We still call it the shootout. Are you familiar with that?
I am, yes.
So the story is that somebody was standing next to him in a Chipotle and then overheard him say, like, I feel good. Is that it? He said the person that posted this said that Mateer told the Chipotle employee he is 100% going to play versus Texas. And they've been like a little bit cagey about the injury, which you would expect them to be. And I know that like the local hand surgeon or whatever has turned into a celebrity, and all the Sooner fans, they're like gassing him up, leaving him good reviews.
Dr. Shin.
Yeah,
Dr. Shin, hero.
What are you hearing? Do you have an update on the Chipotle story?
I feel like John Mateer is probably already getting his burrito for free, so he has no reason to lie to try to get like double meat for free from the guy behind the counter. So I don't think you can't not trust him when he says that he's 100% going to play. My skepticism is the point spread hasn't moved, and these rumors have been out there, but nobody's budging on that. Texas is still favored by 2.5 last I checked. And I also feel like you saw the volume of reports on Tuesday morning about John Mateer might play this week against Texas. I feel like if Oklahoma really thought he was going to play, they'd be keeping that under wraps. They wouldn't be floating out that possibility.
But there was a picture of John Mateer in a Chipotle with a Chipotle employee.
That's enough for me.
People are speculating that this is potentially the very same employee that he shared the news with.
I mean, this is all, what's the word in court? Like when the evidence is
circumstantial?
Really, there we go. This is all circumstantial evidence, but the circumstances speak pretty loudly.
Yeah, sometimes that can be enough.
I mean, would you lie in a Chipotle? It feels like it's wrong.
I'd be like, no, I don't need to use the restroom.
It's like being in church.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it. I'm going to say something. You tell me if it's crazy.
Okay.
Ohio State this year is better than Ohio State last year.
I don't think it's crazy. I think it's certainly possible. But this is, when I was on the show a couple months ago, I got yelled at by you and Brandon because I was saying that Ohio State was doing like load management last year. And what I did not get across correctly when I was making that statement was I didn't mean to say they were going half speed in games against Oregon and Michigan. What Ohio State was doing last year was in those other games that weren't Ohio State or Michigan, they were going half speed. They were just doing whatever they had to get by. Kind of like what I thought Penn State was doing in non-conference before they started playing real teams and looked just as bad. So like Ohio State was flipping a switch in its big games, and they came up short against Oregon by a point on the road in the regular season. And then Michigan did the thing where Michigan just beats them because Ohio State can't beat Michigan anymore. But then we saw once they got to the playoffs and flipped a switch again, absolute juggernaut.
Right.
This year, my argument was Ohio State couldn't really afford to do that because they had too many new guys coming in and they have to work Julian Sayin in. So I think that the effort level you're seeing so far from the Buckeyes is higher than the effort level you saw from last year, which was a very veteran team that already knew who it was and just knew that it had to survive to get to the playoffs, and then things would take care of themselves from there. So I don't think Ohio State is really going like I still think last year's team was better. I think that by the end of this year, this team could be better because I do think there is an argument to be made that the defense is better than last year's defense. I think Matt Patricia is just confusing the ever-living crap out of all the quarterbacks that he has faced so far. Like, these kids do not know what they're looking at before the snap, and it's really showing up. And once they get to the red zone, they're just absolutely clamping down and not giving up anything. So I think the defense is very, very, very good. The offense, to me, is not quite to where last year's was. And I think that that could change as the year goes on, just simply because we're seeing week by week They're giving Julian Sand a little bit more responsibility. They're lengthening the leash. They're letting him move the ball downfield more often. And I think that he's very, very talented, and he's shown excellent poise and excellent accuracy. He's like showing you everything you want to see from a young quarterback as far as growth is concerned. So I think by the end of the year, it could 1,000% be true. Right now, I don't agree with you, but I don't think it's crazy.
Well, I'm happy I'm early on the take, because part of the take is the defense is phenomenal. I think Julian Sand's ceiling as a passer is way higher than Will Howard's. So
Agreed.
that's where I'm going for, is like, if Julian Sand keeps on this path, this offense is going to be like, you even saw it in the Washington game where they kind of were like, hey, Washington's not going to score on us. We're going to play defense. We'll be fine. But then there was moments where they're like, you know what? Let's do the Jeremiah Smith thing, and let's just fuck them up for like a series. And you could see it there. I think it's coming. I think Ohio State this year better than last year.
The difference to me, though, is like, and this is no disrespect to Carnell Tate or C.J. Donaldson or even the great Bo Jackson, who has been brought back to life to play running back for Ohio State. It's just last year's offense also had Emeka Egbuka, Trevion Henderson, and Quinshaw Judkins, and I don't think they have those guys. They still have Jeremiah, obviously, though.
Yeah, I do like that take, though. That also sets Ohio State up for, like, that would be the biggest disappointment of all time if they didn't win a back-to-back national championship.
Or if they don't beat Michigan again.
Or if they don't beat Michigan, yeah.
Are you feeling like there's any chance for Luke Altmaier in your Illini on Saturday?
I always feel like there's a chance, which is a lie I tell myself. It's tough. Like, Illinois' defense has been beaten up the last few weeks, and going up against Ohio State when your secondary's banged up is probably not the best spot to be in. But I will say, offensively, I think Illinois is legit. The concern is that we saw against Indiana, not just forget the final score, which was a 53-point just complete ass whooping by the Indiana Hoosiers in Bloomington, but like offensively, they got completely stonewalled by Indiana in that game. And it was a lot of the offensive line had issues picking up blitzes and all that kind of stuff. And I think that Ohio State, as I just mentioned with Matt Patricia, has done an incredible job of confusing quarterbacks. But the one thing Illinois has going for it is Luke Altmaier is a third-year starter who's also in his third year with the same offensive coordinator. So, like, they have answers to the tests more than a lot of the other quarterbacks that Ohio State has faced to this point. Whether or not they can execute it and do it well enough to overcome a defense that's probably going to have a really difficult time stopping the Buckeyes, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. I want to talk a little Texas Tech with you. People are like, talk about our football program. Texas Tech, I think they're finally being respected. What are they? They're top 10 now in the country. Should Texas Tech start to prepare themselves for a world in which they win their conference and then do not get a bye?
We had this conversation just on the show the other day. Yeah, I think that's very possible. I think that if you look at the Big 12, the problem Texas Tech faces right now is, like, before the season started, it was like the Big 12's great. Nobody's really good enough to pull away. Every game is going to be super fun. It feels like Texas Tech has pulled away.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
They spent a ton in the portal, and they've hit on most of the guys that they got in the portal. They have a good starting quarterback, and as we saw in the Utah game, they have a very good backup quarterback in case Baron Morton goes down again. And on the defensive line, they're just in a completely different planet than the other teams that they're facing in the Big 12 week by week. The problem that they face is by the end of the year, there's no guarantee that they'll have a ranked win yet. And we know, like, the SEC campaigned to get, like, the SOS metrics changed in the college football playoff formula. So there's a very real chance that, like, Texas Tech could be 13-0 come the end of the season. And like Ohio State and Oregon could both get buys if they reach the Big Ten championship game. Miami could be undefeated, so they're probably going to get a bye in that case. And like the SEC champion at 10-2 will have the much higher SOS metric than Texas Tech, and they will get put ahead of the Red Raiders, who are forced to play in the first round. I think that, yes, it's a very real spot because, like, just look back to last year. Arizona State won the Big 12. Obviously, they lost 2 games, but they were ranked behind Alabama, who did not make the college football playoff and had 3 losses. So the committee doesn't really have a ton of respect for that league.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Miami, do they have what's the biggest speed bump that you could see on their schedule? Because it feels like they've beaten some teams that everybody had circled at the start of the year. The ACC, not exactly super strong. There's some good teams, like UVA is pretty good.
Georgia Tech's
pretty good. But what's the biggest speed bump that you see in Miami's way between here and the playoff?
I think Miami's biggest speed bump is always Miami. I think that, like a lot of times you've seen
that's a very Miami
thing.
Taking those bumps.
Like last year, their defense was terrible. So it's like that's why they were always stuck in these shootouts with inferior opposition, because their defense couldn't get any stops. I think the biggest difference this year is their defense is legitimately good. It's like it's the defensive line. Ruben Bain and those guys are getting all the attention. Ruben Bain's being mentioned as a Heisman candidate.
He is.
But it's
he
the
is,
back
Tom.
end.
You're right. I'm glad you brought that up because he is being mentioned. I've heard it everywhere. Ruben Bain, possible. So I mean, if you look at the odds, extremely long shot, but yes, he should be talked about, Tom. Thank you.
I agree, and I think that you should definitely hold on to that ticket until he's announced as a finalist and then cash out at the earliest opportunity once that happens, because there's no way in hell he'll win. But I also think that when you look at the rest of that defense, like the secondary, they went to the portal. They replaced a lot of guys. They've hit on them. Their defensive philosophy has changed. I think that they are a legitimately good football team. And you look at the rest of the ACC, Florida State should have been its most difficult opposition in conference play, and it was, but they kind of made it look easy. Florida State had that comeback late to make the game look a lot closer than it was. But you look at the rest of their schedule, their only road games are at SMU, and I don't think SMU is nearly as good as it was last year. And then they finished the year with road trips to Virginia Tech, who will probably be dead and buried by then. They're already on an interim coach, so by the end of the season, who knows how much that team's even going to care. And then I think the trickiest spot is the final game of the season at Pitt, because that's just the kind of thing Pat Narduzzi would do. But if Miami's undefeated by then and they lose that game to Pitt, they're still going to be in the ACC championship, and they'll probably still win that game, and they'll probably still get a bye.
Yeah. All right, SEC. Who's going to win the SEC, and is it Alabama because they're back?
I do think it's Alabama.
I love Ty Simpson, by the way. He's awesome.
Ty Simpson, Simpson might be the best quarterback in the country right now. And it's funny because I think back to like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was, when they were playing South Florida in that monsoon, and they were playing the games with like Jalen Milroe where they benched him, and they went and Ty Simpson got into that game and he looked terrible. And then they come back and you're like, Ty Simpson's going to be the starter? That dude from the South Florida game? Oh, my God, sell your Alabama stock. But he's one of those few instances we're seeing these days where, oh, my God, sitting on the bench and learning has actually helped him get better. Because even in the Florida State game, like he was making really nice throws. He was just a little late on a lot of them. He had open receivers and he was missing. And it was just like, okay, this is a kid in a tough spot, not seeing it quick enough. Ever since then, he's seeing it. He can make every single throw. He can do it from the pocket. We saw last week he's able to do it while on the move, both going to his right and to his left. He's able to, come back across his body and put zip on a throw back across the field. I think he's legitimately like Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore. You're seeing them in the mock drafts as first rounders. I think Ty Simpson, by the time this season will end, will be like a top half of the first round kind of draft pick in all the mocks. And I look at Alabama, the game against Florida State to me felt like the result, especially based on what we've seen in the week since, is Alabama defensively took the wrong approach, and Florida State and Tommy Castellanos torched them. And we have seen defenses adjust and approach Florida State in different ways since then, and it worked for Virginia. It worked for Miami. It worked for Alabama last week against Vanderbilt, although Vanderbilt did shoot itself in the foot a few times there. But overall, I think Alabama is the team I trust the most in the SEC. I don't think that, I look at Texas Tech as a heavy favorite to win the Big 12. I look at Miami as a heavy favorite to win the ACC. I don't think Alabama is a heavy favorite to win the SEC simply because I still think that, I mentioned Texas A&M earlier. They're good. I think Oklahoma is good if Mateer's healthy. I think Mizzou might be better than most people realize. And I think that Georgia still has a chance to be awesome. And Ole Miss, I'm not huge on Ole Miss, but damn it, they don't lose. So it's like at some point I just have to tip my cap to them and say, I don't really like the way you're going about it, but damn it, you keep proving me wrong every single week. So yeah, it's really tough. Like there's a chance, I think there's a much better chance than people think that the SEC is going to get 5 teams into the playoff.
Yeah, the SEC is the new Big 12 outside of the fact that they're going to get 5 teams, but it's the new Big 12 in the fact that I feel like any team can beat any team any weekend because there's just not that superpower. Alabama's
like
2.5 point favorite against Mizzou.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
It's kind of surprising when you see that, right? But I mean, that's just a testament to how good Mizzou is. So, they haven't played in any big games, so they haven't really gotten a lot of attention. But if you've watched them, you're like, holy shit, this team's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Tennessee?
I think Tennessee is good. I don't think Tennessee is great. And I feel like they missed their opportunity because they outplayed Georgia in that game.
Yep.
Like if you from start to finish, Tennessee was a better team for most of that game, and they came up short and they lost by 3 points. I think that Joey Aguilar is good, but I don't think he has the kind of arm strength that like a Joe Milton can bring back to the Tennessee days. But it just like he's throwing a lot of pretty deep balls, but there's some rainbows to him. And if you go back to that Georgia game, there were a couple touchdowns he threw that probably should have been intercepted more than they should have been touchdowns. They just the ball bounced their way and they took advantage of it. It's just defensively, I think they've slipped a little bit, and offensively, I don't think that they're outstanding. I think that they are a team that can compete for one of the SEC's playoff bids, but they strike me as the team that if they get to the college football playoff, they're probably going to lose their first round game.
I would feel a lot better about Tennessee if they had Bama at home. That's the thing. It's like I could see them beating Alabama at home. I can't really picture them going down there and doing that again based on what I've seen from so far. But the nice thing about Aguilar is he's usually very accurate. He knows where to go with the football. He's played enough ball where he can like get through his progressions, and I think in that offense, that's really what you're looking. You don't need a guy like Joe Milton, who's like obviously super fun to watch when he throws the ball to the moon. But I feel like that's the prototypical guy that you need in that offense.
Oh yeah, he's a clear upgrade over what Nico was for them last year. It's just I don't think that as a team, this team is as good as last year. I think they have a better quarterback, and I don't think they're as good at other spots.
Are we back in on Nico? That was a great performance by Nico.
Incredible.
I feel like there are a lot of people sold their Nico stock at rock bottom, and maybe we get a little bounce back. So I think I said he should be a wide receiver, a tight end. Like put some weight on.
I like that.
I've never sold all my Nico stock, but I do feel like last week might be a bit of fool's gold. I think that Penn State was just still kind of in shock over what had happened to them against Oregon.
Yeah, but I mean, he looked good. He looked really good. And also, Neuheisel's getting all the credit for that victory.
He is, and I don't know that. I mean, credit to him. I think, this is a little too in the weeds, but I think a big part of what happened last week is A, that Penn State was still in shock over the Oregon game, but B, with Neuheisel now as the new offensive coordinator, like Penn State had absolutely no idea what UCLA's offense was going to look like. They hadn't seen it. Nobody had. So it's really hard to prepare for. So like in the first half, UCLA is moving the ball on them. Penn State's like, what the hell? What are they doing? Yeah. UCLA gets whatever, 20-something points. Then the second half, Penn State's defense locked them down. The problem Penn State had was their offense was just there was no excuse for their offense to perform the way that they did.
Well, and you're forgetting the biggest reason. The tarmac's not big enough in Happy Valley, so they had to drive an hour and a half to fly.
It's crazy.
It's fucking insane. It's Franklin's nuts. Right. Like that was they basically stacked the deck against them last week.
They had to sit in a car
just take like a 3-hour Uber drive to a different airport?
I also don't know why Penn State, like if you have all this money, why not just build a bigger tarmac?
I mean, that's what we're doing, right? Yeah. Like, that's what the TV money's for.
Yeah, right.
Also,
build it.
If you're Penn State, you should be able to understand how to bounce back from really crushing losses.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you do.
I put the blame on us because we convinced them that this was their year. I blame Brandon. That's who I blame.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
That was big time Brandon blame. You have sources. You have inside information. How bad is it at UNC?
Oh, it's awful. I mean, it's a dumpster fire. It's like the stuff you're hearing that's coming out now. You've kind of been hearing it for a few weeks from people, but you just have to look at the team on the field to kind of understand that. Yeah, it's nobody really understand. The players are completely like the players. You watch them on the field, they don't know what's coming. They look like they're completely unprepared. And now you've got like Mike Lombardi releasing this long-winded trust the process kind of letter to the public, like saying, hey, come on, this was the plan all along, right? We were going to suck on purpose. You just have to trust the process. Like, Mike, there are no draft picks. Like you have to recruit these dudes. And it's a staff that thought, Bill Belichick thinks he's the greatest football coach ever, and he might be. Like, he won a lot of Super Bowls. But the NFL is very different from college. Like, at the NFL, everybody's super talented. You can gain an edge by out-scheming your opponent. You also gain an edge by having a superior quarterback. At the college level, the scheme only matters so much if you're not, if you're not as talented as the team you're playing. Like a zone pattern matching scheme on your defense and zone isn't really going to mean shit if the other team's just playing better than you and kicking your ass along the lines of scrimmage. And they went to put together a team in the portal, and they really just kind of took guys. It wasn't taking top guys. They were taking guys that they could get, and they weren't able to get a ton of really good guys, and it's showing every single week. Yeah,
the tone from Lombardi in the letter was like, I really respected the 76ers for how they messaged the process. I emulate being able to I would love to be able
to get you to buy into.
Yes.
I really love the way that the 76ers were able to get you to buy their bullshit about not trying to win.
Yes, that's exactly.
What he wrote.
He's like, I wish I could convince people to let me do my job when I'm not winning and I'm not getting results because they did an awesome job of that. That didn't.
Just
the
let
letter
me cash
did not,
my checks, okay?
It did not inspire confidence that they're actually doing things to try to win. It was just like, hey, just get off my back for a little bit, okay, buddy. There was that report that came out today. I think it was WRAL. I read that. The long story about just how bad things are getting there, and it seems like none of the parents like Lombardi.
No,
or at least none of the parents that spoke to this article. They called him rude and nasty. They say that Belichick is like okay in terms of how he interacts with players, but there's no communication with their families going on here. And now they just canceled Hard Knocks, the documentary that was going to be on Hulu. At first, it was going to be on TV. Then they canceled it over the summer. Then they redid it again. Now they're canceling it again. We
need that footage, by the way, because there is footage.
It's out there.
We need that footage.
We got it. We will air Hard Knocks in its entirety on Barstool Sports.
Someone Dropbox.
It's a PMTV episode.
Yeah, if you can send it over to us. It does feel like this is just. There's a lot of things happening that would point to Belichick not sticking around too much longer. Is that something that you think is on the table?
Oh, I definitely think it's on the table. I don't know. I don't like the details of the buyout on North Carolina's end. Like, I know that Belichick could leave and he only has to pay like $1 million at the end of the season, right? I don't know if it's the same kind of sweet deal for North Carolina on their end. Like, they might still have to pay him a significant chunk of money to move on. And I don't know if they have the stomach for doing it. But I also feel like at a certain point, you kind of can't just think about the money. You have to think about the state of the program. And we've seen it. Like, the stadium's empty. Fans aren't sticking around for this shit. Like, they've seen through it. They understand that it was a joke all along now, and they're just going to move on and they're not going to care. And I think that right now, with the current state of college football and just the way things are working, like the settlement of the lawsuit from Florida State and Clemson against the ACC basically bought the league 5 more years, because Florida State and Clemson, once that deal is up, are leaving. They're going to go to the Big Ten or the SEC, wherever they can get a home. North Carolina is going to have to follow them. And I think that the thing that they need to worry about is you can't become an afterthought in football right now, because in 5 years, you still need to be an attractive property or a program for the Big Ten or for the SEC. And if your program goes completely in the tank because of this, and you don't move on and you don't, just try to buy your way out of it essentially and bring in an actual football coach, you could find yourself without a life raft. You could be Washington State. You could be Oregon State. You could just be sitting in the jungle by yourself. And it's important to remind people, in case they didn't know, the athletic director at North Carolina did not want to hire Bill Belichick. Yeah. He wanted to go after a traditional coach like a Matt Campbell or a John Summerall, just going after somebody to bring in the job. It was boosters and members of the board of trustees that pushed Bill Belichick on Bubba Cunningham. So I think that if this were Bubba's decision, I think Bill would be gone already.
Yeah. By the way, the Mike Lombardi, I just looked it up because I remember reading this a while ago. Chuck Klosterman once wrote, it's such a mean quote, but it's probably apropos for Mike Lombardi. He called Mike Lombardi a detail freak and a polymath, or at least a person successfully attempting to impersonate one.
That's so mean.
That's so mean. And it feels like now we're on the impersonation part.
Successfully.
Yes.
Now he's
successfully,
But now he's unsuccessful.
Unsuccessfully impersonating.
He needs to get better at his impersonation of Sam Hinkie.
Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine reading that and just be like, wait a second. Fuck.
Yeah. What
percentage of your listeners do you think know what polymath means?
I don't.
Yeah, I think it's
what is it?
I would have guessed it's someone that can do addition and subtraction.
Yeah, I was gonna say like someone who just sees numbers everywhere, like Russell Crowe.
It's like a Renaissance man. It's like you're really smart at a lot of things.
Okay, yeah, it's a polymath is a person with expert knowledge in several diverse fields, driven by a deep curiosity and lifelong love of learning. That's not what I thought it was.
Someone would call that a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Thought it was a guy who'd like to fuck both algebra and geography.
Yeah. I'm a polymath. I like watching Big Ten football and MAC football.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm a polymath. Sometimes I bet the under too.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I go both ways. What about elsewhere in the Carolinas? Dabo. Our good friend Dabo Swinney. Just a fun name to say. We've been talking about him a lot. He did get him and Bill Belichick combined to get the Ludacris concert moved to 9:30 a.m., which is that's just the biggest insult. That's a sad state of affairs with those programs. But We've been talking about Dabo and whether or not he would get another big-time coaching offer if it didn't work out at Clemson. So I guess I got a two-part question. One, how much longer would you see Dabo sticking around at Clemson? Like, is this where you think he's still going to remain even if things don't go his way? And then two, if he does leave, is there a big-time college football team that would want him as their head coach?
I don't think Dabo's going anywhere this year. I think he will finish the season at Clemson. And I think they're 2-3 now. They'll probably end up 7-5, 8-4. So like as the schedule gets easier, I think they're going to rack up some wins and they'll look a lot better come the end of the season. I still think though that he's going to have to have a come to Jesus moment and be like, all right, I really need to start using the portal. If I can't keep winning my way, doing it the quote unquote right way that worked for him in the past, because it's clearly not working for him in the present. And whether he wants to say it out loud or not, he raised the expectation level for the program. He deserves credit for it. But now that you've done that, your fan base has grown accustomed to a certain level of success that they now expect. And if you're not competing for national titles, well, they're going to turn on you at some point. And I think Dabo needs to decide for himself, do I want to keep doing it my way and just eventually get kicked out of here and lose the job? Or do I want to keep this job and adapt and try to win the way that you have to win in the modern era? I don't know what decision he makes there. If he did get fired at Clemson, as for the idea that another top program would come along, I would bet at least one would. I don't know who it would be, but we're just talking about North Carolina hiring Bill Belichick. So for Dabo Swinney, one of the few coaches out there who actually has national titles to his name, if there is a big time program that has maybe fallen on hard times, Florida, and is just sitting there trying to do something to kind of revitalize their program, I could see somebody reaching out to Dabo and trying to bring him in, hoping that he could rekindle that magic for them. And Dabo might be like, all right, well, maybe I'll go somewhere where they appreciate what I've done because they're not tired of it. Now, I still think that unless he changes his approach, he's not going to have the same kind of success no matter where he goes.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why a big-time program like Florida would bring him in if he said, "Hey, listen, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to change. You're getting Dabo. You're not getting the new age Dabo, the next evolution." I don't see why a big-time program would think that was a good idea.
Because Florida could convince itself that we'll have better players than what he was getting at Clemson, and we just need him to be Dabo. Okay,
or he's a big God guy. What if he sets an example for his team and he cuts his son? Right? That's in the Bible. I'll do it. I'll cut Clay. I'm taking away your scholarship, Clay, in front of the team. Now we got a new one up for grabs. That's what he should do.
I mean, he should try that. And if that doesn't work, maybe go to the transfer portal and find a quarterback and a wide receiver.
That's also a good idea, yes.
Tom, this has been great. I got one last question for you. It's a Roback question, rhoback.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Roback.com, promo code TAKE. Saturday's slate is loaded. It is awesome. Awesome. I feel like this is why I know that people don't – I think you don't like the college football playoff expanding to 12. I do, because I love that a lot of these games feel like they mean more. Penn State still can play. They can still get in. But give us your favorite game and bet on Saturday. Can be two different things.
My favorite game is obviously Illinois-Ohio State, because Illinois is going to shock the world and knock the Buckeyes off. But if I wasn't picking that game, I mean, I think – I love the Red River shootout or whatever we're calling
it shootout.
Same.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Texas. I mean, I hope Mateer plays because I would like them to be at full strength for that game. But regardless, both of those, they could be there's so many times in the Big 12 in recent years where they were 7-5 teams. I didn't care. I was still watching the hell out of that game because I thought it was really fun and entertaining. So that's the one I'm most looking forward to. As far as my favorite bet right now, I think the wrong team is favored in Los Angeles. I think Michigan's a better football team than USC. If you want to take the points, go for it. I'm probably just going to be on the Michigan money line.
Bryce Underwood's really good.
He's getting better every week.
Yep.
And, Jaden Maev is really good too, but USC is kind of banged up, and I think Michigan's just much better than they are along the lines of scrimmage, and I think if Underwood continues his progression, he's just going to get better and better and better, and he's got so much talent that by the end of the year, if Michigan sneaks into the playoff as an at-large, and I think that's a certain possibility at this point, and Underwood's kind of peaking, they become a really dangerous team come playoff time.
That's going to be really fun for us here at Barstool Sports.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
We're going to have a lot of fun.
Why?
with that.
Is there somebody there who cares about Michigan a lot?
No.
I mean,
no.
Basically, the guy that bought Bryce. Yeah.
Well, Larry Ellison doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yes. All right, Tom, you're the best. Thanks so much. We love talking to you, and hopefully see you soon.
Look forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Tom Fornelli was brought to you by Shell V-Powered Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. It removes up to 100% of performance-robbing deposits to rejuvenate your engine's performance. You can get more performance with every drive. Get more with Shell V-Powered Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. You get more performance, more power, more protection, and more. Protects against carbon deposits, friction, and wear for better fuel efficiency in addition to engine performance. Get more performance with every drive. It's their best fuel ever, a fuel like no other. Learn more at shell.us/more-performance. Download the Shell app and locate your nearest station today. And now, here is Mario Cristobal.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, very, very, very special guest. It is Miami Hurricanes head coach Mario Cristobal, the number 2 ranked Miami Hurricanes. Coach, great to see you. First of all, congrats on winning the state title. I saw that. You finished it off this weekend with the Florida State win. I want to talk big picture, though, to start, though. You are known for being really great at inheriting programs that maybe are in hard times and turning them into what you got right now with Miami. You did it at Oregon. You did it at FIU. What's the secret sauce to be able to do that? Because it's such a difficult thing to do, and you've proven it time and time and again that you're able to change a culture and turn a program around.
Oh, well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. It's an honor to be here. Secondly, it's not me. It's everybody that's tied into our organization. It's almost like real estate, right? When you see a place that's got a ton of potential but just hasn't been taken care of or done the right way, you go all in, and it starts with just changing the DNA of the place with the right people and just littering the place from top to bottom with hardworking, driven self-starters that are all about just team and getting better. And that's hard to find nowadays. So it's a relentless process. We've been very fortunate to bring in the right kind of people that are high achievers and hardworking sons of guns, and that happen to be really, really talented too.
Yeah.
You're known as a relentless recruiter. How is that working for you? If your expectation is so high to recruit, would you say that you're a driven guy? Like, do you push your guys as hard as possible?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing our parents, or probably the most important thing our parents taught us. I mean, again, 2 parents that couldn't even speak the language and got here from another country and really didn't have a chance to raise us. They were working 2 jobs and went to night school. Our high school coach was responsible for that. But it was all about the work. And then I played for some coaches, Jimmy Johnson, Dennis Erickson, that were all about the work, and coaching for Butch Davis and Nick Saban, work. So I learned a really hard lesson as a graduate assistant when I came here in 97, 98, and Miami was awful. I mean, after being part of those championship teams as a player, Miami was awful. And we went on a tear in recruiting. I believe we had 9 scholarships to give because Miami was on probation. And of those 9, 7 ended up being first rounders. The 8th was a second rounder. The 9th was still a good player. And that turned into that 2001 team. And so I learned the value of recruiting very quickly and how the magic is in the players.
Yeah.
I read a story about your past when you were at Miami back in the late 90s. That you were getting ready, you were prepping for a bowl game, and you got a message on your pager saying that you had a job offer for the United States Secret Service. And that's a job that you had wanted, and you decided to say, no, I'm not going to be a Secret Service agent. I'm going to turn that down and stick with coaching football. I guess my first question would be, like, how serious were you about becoming a Secret Service agent?
I mean, I was gone. That was what I wanted to do. I became a GA by accident. I was working at some public relation firm right down the street, just losing my mind on a daily basis. And I remember back then there were no cell phones. I would fax like the run game protections to my friend Rob Chudzinski, who was the tight ends coach here at the time. And I'm like, brother, you can't block things like that. You got to do this and that. And finally he picked up the phone and said, just stop faxing me stuff. Come over and be a GA. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be a GA. Those guys, like, you do laundry, you do all the crappy tasks or whatnot. But I came over, talked to Butch Davis, and he gave me a shot. And I told him, I go, I'm leaving, and whenever I get hired, it's probably going to take 18 months, 2 years. And when they called, I accepted the job. Was on, I think it was the Gator Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. We were it was awesome, man. Fishing on one of those, bowl excursions that they put you on with guys like Reggie Wayne and Santana Moss. They were puppies, they were babies. And I was gone. And then I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, hell no, I want to coach football. And that was it.
Yeah. Has there ever been a what if moment where you're like, what if I did join the Secret Service? How good would I be at that job?
Yeah, I had a chance to visit the White House, when I was at Alabama. And you look around like, okay, what if? But I'm good with the decision. And certainly I was honored to have that opportunity and honored to have the opportunity I have now.
Yeah. You mentioned Alabama. Nick Saban always has so much praise for you, and it feels like he's been a mentor for me. What have you learned from him? Because it does feel like every time he talks about you, he's like you're one of his guys, so to speak.
Yeah, I thought besides the way he managed all those resources, I thought the best thing he did, besides the regimentation, the offseason, the fourth quarter program, the strength and conditioning department, and he has his hand on everything. He was unbelievable. But I thought what he did best was the most underrated and the least talked about thing was his daily fight with complacency, how he refused to allow any type of complacency to seep into the program. And so he was just on it. And I loved it because that's how my high school coach was. That's how my dad was. May he rest in peace. That's what I was always used to. And that's why I was so drawn to that opportunity and working there. So I learned a ton, and it was awesome, man. He's been a great mentor.
So what are you doing with this team? Because this team, obviously, incredible start to the season. You guys are number 2 team in the country. You have everything in front of you. What are you doing to actively make sure that your players aren't getting I think it's, to quote you, their ass cracks kissed. That's what you say. They always have, we don't want to get their ass cracks kissed too much. So what do you do actively? Because it's obviously, it happens, right? It's every football team goes through it.
Yeah. It starts with the work, right? And we work at an intensity level that's pretty insane in a good way, in a smart way. But we're very honest and open about everything we do. We go direct, man. If you watch our film, to us, we acknowledge very simply that we have a long ways to go. Mm-hmm. We've gotten better. We've come so far in the trenches. The perimeter players for us on defense are now playing at a much higher level. Our skilled guys are making plays. Our young guys and our transfers have blended well together. But, brother, we got a long way to go. We have massive improvement to be made to accomplish what we want to. It just, what we want to do requires us to get a hell of a lot better. There's only one way to do it, man. That's work our butts off. And they've accepted and allowed myself and our staff to push these guys as hard as they can be pushed.
Yeah.
What was it about Carson Beck that you saw and you said, okay, this guy I'm going to target this guy. He can make a difference in our program. He is exactly what we need. And there's a big price tag that goes along with him. But there's something about this guy that I feel like could take us to the next level.
Yeah, watching his film in 23, he was off the charts. And if you go backwards in time, at the beginning of 24, he was the projected number 1 quarterback, right, to be taken. And Cam Ward was a projected 5th, 6th, 7th rounder at that time. So a year later, honestly, obviously what Cam does, what he does, and he goes on and moves on. But watching Carson's film, there's a lot of really good film there. I just thought that schematically they were very different. The supporting cast was a little bit different. And we thought our offensive line and our supporting cast suited him really, really well. I thought he was a strong arm, accurate arm, extremely intelligent, understood protections really well, put them in the right kind of runs. He understands numbers, leverage, angles in the run game, the screen game. And he's a grinder. Like he understands football and he takes in new concepts really, really quickly. He's a really quick study with a super high football IQ. So, we thought he was a perfect fit.
Yeah, he's been great this season. And Big Cat was talking about like the complacency stuff. How do you guard against your own? Like, do you notice small moments in the day where you're like, hey, Mario, you're being complacent right now. Snap out of it. Like, how do you recognize that when it comes to yourself?
To myself, man, I'm out the door way early and don't get back till very late. And knowing that, look, I mean, I'm a nobody from right down the street, and I had an opportunity given to me by some awesome people, starting with Jimmy Johnson and going all the way to Butch Davis and whatnot. So I value opportunity and chances like I don't know anyone else that values as much as I do. So that's my daily. I refuse to allow any of that, like what do they call it? The relax mode, right? Leaf syndrome to get and creep into myself. And so it's my job and our assistant coaches' jobs, because this starts with them. People always saying, well, players nowadays are bullshit, right? It's the adults. The adults set the tone, right? And the players will follow. And we have the right kind of players with the right kind of mentality. It's full throttle every day, man. And you're honest. We don't sugarcoat anything. We don't try to be anybody's friend. We try to be their best mentor, their best truth teller. And everyone must recognize we only have them here from at the least 1 year, maybe 6 months with the portal, or up to 4 years, some 5. That's not a long period of time. So bust your ass. This is a vocation. This is not a part-time job. It's not a check the box job. So we just flat out go, but we go all out for our players. That's number one always. Players first, as if it's your very own son.
What time do you wake up in the morning? You said that you get in really early.
Yeah, I don't like put the times out there, because I think when people do that, it's like patting themselves in the back. Hey, I'm a hard worker. I'm a tough guy. I don't. It's pretty insane, but it's what needs to be done. It is not. I'm not doing anything extraordinary. I'm doing what has to be done, whatever is required of me. I can't tell our players and our staff to bust their butts and go above and beyond, and me not go above and beyond that. So, and that's what's supposed to happen. That's not something extraordinary or something super cool.
That's your old Secret Service coming out right there. You just made sure that no one can know your schedule. That was smart.
Mm-hmm.
They
competitive advantage.
Stay ahead of it. I got a question about your phenom freshman, Malachi Tony. His nickname in high school was Baby Jesus. Did you watch his tape, or were you just like, when someone told you the nickname, you're like, all right, we want him? Because that's hard to do, to get Baby Jesus as a nickname.
Yeah, I'm Catholic, but I'm still going to watch tape. You know, he was. But my son, who's now in high school, was like, Papa, can I skip school? I'm like, what do you want to skip school for? He goes, I want to go watch Baby Jesus play. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? And we watched him in high school. Have you seen his high school tape?
I haven't, but I would imagine. I mean, Florida speed is just different. He's almost got different speed. Where like in that Florida State game, even there's moments where you're watching and it doesn't look like he's running that hard, but he's running so much faster than everyone else on the field. It's crazy to watch.
Well, in high school, their quarterback got hurt, and I think they were 4-2. They were kind of questionably making the playoffs and making a run. They put him at quarterback. They win the state title. In the state title game, I think he was 15 of 15 for 200. Yeah, this is the best part about the guy. The guy's the ultimate professional. He is in here as early as anybody or earlier. He stays late. His work ethic is it's insane. He does the things of a 6-year NFL pro, and he never strays from that. He is on it every single day. He impacts other people. He doesn't. He loves ball, man. His dad was in that legendary street race, against Devin Hester back in the day. His dad actually won that race. So the bloodlines are real down here in South Florida, and from a football standpoint.
Yeah.
How hands-on do you get to be as a head coach when it comes to working on technique with the guys? Do you ever find yourself wanting to get in there, and then maybe
every head coach does? Yeah, there's no question. I mean, obviously my background is the trenches. I mean, so wherever the offensive line and D line is, and the tight ends and special teams, that's where I'll be for almost all the practice. If I feel the skilled guys are getting a little bit sensitive, I'll go and watch them, and for a minute and a half, and then I'll get back to the trenches.
We were talking to Coach O a few weeks ago. He came through our office. Great guy. We love Coach O, and he said that he stopped by Miami practice over the summer, and that the trenches are going to be a strong suit for you guys. Did he share anything with the players, or was he just there as an impartial observer, just watching ball?
Coach O is awesome. Both his sons, Parker and Cody, they work for us. They're both analysts on the offense and defensive side of the ball, respectively. And Coach O, I always bend his ear for stuff now. Coach O has seen a lot of ball. Coach O was a graduate assistant and then the D-line coach when I was a player here. So he was on my ass all the time. I've known him forever. Yeah, he's the one that, if you miss English class because you decided to go fish in the lake on campus, he's the one that's going to run you at 5 a.m. So we all became really acquainted with Coach O. And his background in trench play is awesome. And he's got a really good eye for the simplicity of technique and fundamentals, as well as practice regimentation, overall, just conceptual teaching. And he's been a really good guy to lean on.
Yeah. All right. I got a question about your career that's fascinating to me. So you're a GA, like you said, at Miami, and you're maybe looking for a good first break. And tell me if this is right, but you are tasked with going to pick up a potential defensive coordinator from the airport. His name is Greg Schiano. You talk with him on the drive back from the airport. He ends up hiring you at Rutgers. Mm-hmm. Coach Schiano does not strike me as like a super amicable guy. How'd you do that in like one car ride where you're just you guys hit it off?
Well, we hired him here at Miami.
Okay.
What happened. So he was a new defensive coordinator. He was at that time the Nichols coach with the Chicago Bears. Comes to Miami. Remember back then you didn't have all these analysts, man. Like, this is crazy now. We got like 400 people in the building. Back then, there was one GA on offense and one on defense. And your butt was working all day, all night. But Schiano, he's by nature a grinder. So deep into the night, midnight and beyond 1, 2, like he was always around, always working. So I'd go in there and he'd just throw stuff up on the board. And we talk pressures, right? He had those unique third down pressures back in the day, really exotic looks. And I'd learn a bunch about protections versus those pressures. And we just developed a relationship, worked together for that year and the next year. And then when he got the call at Rutgers, he asked me to go up there with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love to look back at the 2000 Miami Hurricanes roster. It's like that span. I know that you were there for the very start of it, but how good was that team? Like, even just watching them practice, the 2000 roster had just, it feels like every awesome college football player that then became a great NFL football player was on that team. I feel like that had to be so much fun to watch them practice.
It was awesome. But you know what? When I got here as a GA, I remember they asked me, how do you feel about, the quality of or the caliber of talent on the team? And it was like, man, this is bad. Miami was 5-7, 5-6 at the time. I think there were 11 games back then. And then those 2-3 recruiting classes stacked up. Man, that was a different looking roster. I remember, when you're a GA, you manage a scout team. So you're running the looks for, and I was managing the scout team for our offense. So my scout team players are Vince Wilfork and Ed Reed, John Vilma, and we're kicking the dog out of the offense. So Butch Davis is MFing me, the coordinator. All the coaches are just dropping all kinds of F-bombs on me. I'm like, dude, these guys are creatures. These guys are going to absolutely be super studs here in a very short amount of time. So it was awesome to see that transformation in Miami, get to that level again pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. Vince Wilfork on the scout team had to be a problem.
That's insane.
Yeah, Jerome McDougal. I mean, these are like first rounder after first rounder. It was the battles out there on Green Tree. When I was a kid, when I was growing up, I used to come out here and watch Michael Irvin, Benny Blades, Jerome Brown, Dan Cilio, Paul O'Connor, Greg Riccozzi, all those first rounders. And I wanted to be a Miami Hurricane, but I was terrified to even think about competing with those guys. And so it was kind of neat to see that thing, come full circle again as a GA.
I loved watching Michael Irvin on the sidelines. That guy was fired up. Felt like he was, he wanted to get in the game. He was itching to come off the sidelines. Is he going to be back on the sidelines for more games?
He's around all the time, man. He's one of the most grateful guys to the University of Miami that you'll ever see. And we talk about it all the time. It's really important, in our opinion, that players come back and show that type of gratitude. I mean, we were all knuckleheads, man. Back in the day, we had great coaches, great mentors. We learned a ton. We got our diplomas, got opportunities, and now we have a chance to impact the next generation. Mike and a lot of those guys come around all the time. Andre Johnson, Devin Hester. I could go on and on. John Vilma, talk to the team. He was incredible. John Vilma, I could go on and on about the number of guys that come. Randall Hill, remember his deal back in the tunnel in the Cotton Bowl. these guys they're incredible teammates, friends, and certainly mentors.
I feel like Mike Irvin might need a get back coach at some point. You might have to like delegate one of the GAs to just be like, okay.
He got whacked this last game. He got, I think him and Holly Rowe got trampled and
rolled up on. Yeah. When I know you obviously probably avoid the media, but people love to talk about the U being back. Is that only when you lift a trophy and win a national championship? Is that the standard, or do you give yourself every now and then a moment? I know you don't like complacency, but to look back and be like, hey, this is my dream school, went here, history here, was, came to practice, and I've got things going in the right direction. I can, this is pretty damn cool what we're doing right now.
We never, I've thrown that Miami's back thing, I've thrown that out from everything, the term itself. We don't talk like that around here. And I'll tell you why. It's like, look, my time here as a player, I mean, uncomparable. It's a time and a place that I don't think will ever be duplicated. And the principles and values of that time, absolutely, we're carrying that and bringing it forward. But everything we're doing is going that way, going straight ahead. And I'm not I don't spend a single second thinking about myself and I came back to Miami and left a really good situation because I've been watching it from afar for 20 years. And I was pissed. I was angry that for 20 years watching my alma mater just decline and everyone taking shots at it, the whole world. And that happens, right? When you do good things and then all of a sudden you slide and everybody just wants to keep kicking the dog when it's down. And I was just pissed. And I knew it was going to be, butt kicking when we got here early because a lot had to be done. But that's what finally did it. And I was just tired of Miami being down. And I was tired of our own people kicking Miami while it was down. I was just sick of it. And instead of being sick about it and talking about it or making noise, go do something about it. So that's why we're here. And we have a long ways to go. We've made a lot of progress, but brother, we have a long, long way to go, and we're at it. We had a great practice today, and we need to have an even better one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you worry at all about style points when you're in the middle of a game? Like when we say that, it's like, okay, the voters out there, which ultimately, like, they don't play football. They don't really know everything that goes on, but they are the ones that are making the decisions of where you end up being ranked at the end of the week. Like, do you worry during games like, hey, we need to put our foot on the gas here because we need to make sure that everybody knows how good we can be?
Well, we always want to keep our foot on the gas. Obviously we didn't play a really good fourth quarter the other night, and that's got to change, and that will change. But I think that your style points come in your style of play as well. And if your style of play is that of substance, where it's about legitimate blocking, tackling, great pad level, physicality, and violence, that'll show. But we lean a little bit more, I would say a lot more, on roster development as opposed to style points. And by that, I mean, if you can get your 2s and 3s, another 30, 35 snaps of live football, and I don't know, score once or twice, and maybe they score once as opposed to another 35 points with your ones, we'll take roster development all day because you're going to need those guys. At some point in time, they're going to have to play, and there's nothing like game experience. So we'll take development of the roster throughout what could be a very long season as opposed to style points.
Yeah. Have you noticed your evolution as a coach, maybe being a little more aggressive at times? Like the Florida State game, you had a 4th and 2 where you could maybe kick a field goal and you go for it, and you score a touchdown on that play, and it goes from, a game that was not close, but you guys were up 14-3, whatever it was, and then you kind of blow it up open with a 21-3 lead off that touchdown. Have you noticed that you've, as a coach, gotten a little more aggressive, a little more, hey, we got to step on their throats when we get it, the more go for it on the 4th down that you see a lot of teams doing?
Yeah, I mean, we always try to be aggressive. I mean, that's part of our deal. We throw caution to the wind and go play ball as best we can. And, we do look at analytics, and I'd say 99% of the time is in line with what we're thinking and what our gut feel for the game and the situation, circumstances. But we'd like to be aggressive as best we can because we do have a lot of trust and confidence in our players. Like, we had a 4th and 8 the other day that's like right on the line analytically. Yeah, you do. You go for it. If it's more than that, you're probably better off kicking it. And even before that, like, we felt really good about the play call. We felt really good about the matchup. We didn't execute it. So but it doesn't take away from the fact that we would still stay aggressive in that situation. So we want to stay along the lines of that.
Yeah.
Coach, in your unbiased opinion, who do you think the Heisman Trophy front runner should be right now?
I have no opinion on that whatsoever. And I can honestly say our guys really don't care. They really don't. Like, it's not, it's never part of a topic. I've never, our guy Cam Gorby is the best of the best. And man, he publicizes our guys like there's no tomorrow. But I watch a lot of football, like I'm a manic about it. So I see a lot of crossover tape. There's a lot of great college football players out there. The only thing I would wish for the Heisman Trophy, that it was awarded when all the games are done.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah.
That whole award before these, postseason games are played is absolutely bizarre to me. Like, I can't comprehend it. Never will. But the most important thing for us, brother, I just got to make sure our guys are taking care of business and getting ready for a great practice tomorrow.
I'd like to play for you. I'm just going to say it. I feel like, you wouldn't want me to play. You would.
That would be in pads. You'd be bitching and moaning.
Yeah. You wouldn't want me to play for you, but I feel right now you're like not putting the recruiting pitch on, but I feel like I would want to play for you, and then I'd be like, I've made a terrible decision. I can't hang with this guy. And so you would de-recruit me pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like just be honest, like a little bit of complacency, because I would like to do a little bit of complacency every now and then.
Yeah, it's you wouldn't like it here.
Yeah. just a tiny, just like a little pinch of complacency every now and then. Just chill out.
This would be hell for you.
All right, I got one last question. This has been awesome, Coach. Rowback question, RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-Zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. Are you ready for the dumbest question you've probably ever gotten?
Well, as long as it doesn't ask me to predict something or get involved in a hypothetical, I could probably handle it. I'm probably going to give a really boring answer. I will for sure qualify as your top 3, top 5 most boring interviews, but I'll do my best to try to answer it.
Okay. All right, here it is. The year's 1985. You are 15 years old. A video game comes out called Super Mario. What's going through your head?
I didn't play it much.
Damn.
I know.
Are you a fan of of Mario and Luigi?
I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers diehard fan.
Okay.
That's what I always was, and learned to play football that year in '85. My first time it was when I got to high school, and after that, like all I know is that's it. I told you it was going to be a boring answer.
No, it's a football guy answer though. Do you remember when?
Kong was around, so
Yeah.
But sorry, man.
That's okay.
Do you remember when you fell in love with football? When you said to yourself, "This is what I'm going to be doing"?
Yeah, it was when we finally got the chance to put on pads. I never put on pads. I mean, we were baseball players. We're Cuban kids. We learned to speak the language. I don't know what age, and had a strong accent like Scarface. I'm sure you saw that movie.
Yeah.
And our high school coach was an absolute badass. I swear to God, he's the best mentor, best human being. That guy, I love that guy more than anything. He changed the lives of my brother and myself. And that changed everything. And then with that came opportunity. So we're just, we're just hardworking dudes, man. We're full of gratitude and just ready to get on to the next thing.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I'm bought in right now on your program.
Absolutely.
I feel like this is a good sign of things to come for the U. So I'm happy that you're there, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks so much, Coach. Best of luck for the rest of the year.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Coach Mario Cristobal was brought to you by Hey Dude, the best shoes, the most comfortable shoes, great for wearing around the house, great for wearing on a walk, great for wearing to the office even. This week's episode is brought to you by Hey Dude, and what better way to kick off football season than with the official shoe of tailgating. Hey Dude is the only option when you're planning your game day fit. It's easy to slip on, it's got laid-back style, all-day comfort. They hooked us up with a bunch of new pairs. We're wearing them all weekend long. They're super comfortable, very easy to put on, very easy to take off. We wore them when we were going fishing that one time. You can even wear them fishing. Hey Dude is offering a special offer to get you ready for the season. For a limited time, go to heydude.com/barstool. Use code PMT20, get 20% off the Hey Dude Barstool collection. That's code PMT20, 20% off all their favorite styles. Order yours today. Experience comfort all season long. Whether you're in the parking lot before the game or locked into Red Zone from the couch, make sure you're ready for football season with Hey Dude. Check out Hey Dude today. Coach Cristobal was also brought to you by Experian. Some listeners may be looking for a travel credit card so you can maximize rewards on your trip to London for the Super Bowl upcoming, eventually, Hank. Others might be looking for a cashback card to help pay doctor bills because their ankle's never going to heal. No matter what type of card you're looking for, Experian can show you personalized credit card offers based on your credit profile. And even better, cards labeled No Ding Decline won't hurt your credit score if you're not approved, so you can apply with confidence. Anybody here know that if you apply for a card and you're declined, it could hurt your credit scores? It actually could. That's why we need Experian. It's like having a financial coordinator in your pocket minus the headset. Take control of your finances with your big financial friend, Experian. Find a card matched to you today. Download the Experian app today and check it out. And now, here is Meow Mix Jerry.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest. It is Jerry from the now defunct Meow Mix Podcast, a Carolina Panthers podcast. Jerry, we wanted to have you on real quick because we were fascinated with the story. You don't see often that a team podcast retires mid-season. Talk us through. Let's start there with the retirement. Did you bring it up to your co-host, or did he bring it up to you? What was the breaking point? What was the moment you're like, I can't do this anymore because my football team is just driving me insane?
Well, first of all, we didn't retire. A, that signifies we actually got paid. But B, is we kind of went on hiatus and we were going to reassess the way we were sitting up, because we're doing 2 shows a week, almost 3, and we were just burnt out. And then basically a couple times last year, we didn't record after the game because we were just so heartbroken. And then they started doing well towards the end of last season. We were like, okay, here we go. And then this year happened. And I thought the New England Patriots were going to be the same sphere as the Carolina Panthers, an 8-win, 6 to 8 win type of team. And they just manhandled us on last Sunday. And it was just so heartbreaking that I texted him and was like, I can't record tonight. Midway through the third quarter, I turned the game off. First time in 10 years or so that I actually stopped mid-game. And I was like, I can't do this. And then the next day he's like, you know what? Do you want to do it? I was like, not really. And he was like, yeah, me neither. It's becoming more of a chore than a fun hobby that it started out to be. So then we kind of talked back and forth, and, we decided to put the show on hiatus until we kind of could figure out what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's called a cat nap.
Yeah.
So you might be back.
A cat nap. I like that idea.
Yeah.
What about, so we talked about this on the show because we appreciate the ecosystem of sports podcasters. I think it's very important, I think, to the sports community that we do have podcasters that are laser focused on their specific teams, because we can't cover everything when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. Like we'll talk about
anything
at all. Yeah. So have you thought about maybe, I think we suggested that you bring the podcast back over only after wins, when you feel good.
See, I feel like that's almost a disservice because you're also not getting the lows too. As a fan, you want the highs and lows. Now, I have seen quite a few people come out and say, why don't you do it less, like once a month or once a week? And, we've brought that up to each other. We're kind of still working on this. Again, we decided this 1 week ago. We posted on Twitter just to let our fans know, hey, we're not completely gone, but we need some time to think about what we're doing. Then somehow it blew up. Just our small little podcast got picked up by national media. We're like, how did this happen?
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. We just love anyone who's dedicated to the game, anyone who's grinding out there, and we were kind of heartbroken to see it. And I looked it up. You guys, since you started, you're 30-74. That's a lot of losses. That's a hard thing to do. When you decided to step away, and then the Panthers have an incredible comeback win against the Dolphins, did you text Steven and you were like, hey, should we do it? Should we do it again? Should we get back on the mics?
first of all, we're in a group chat with a bunch of our friends. So we're talking throughout the game, and I was tweeting throughout the game just because no matter what, I'm still going to watch.
Right.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people didn't understand about that tweet was, we're still watching, we're still fans. So we were tweeting back and forth, and he wasn't in the mode to record. I kind of wasn't in the mode still. I didn't want to just, we're going on hiatus. Oh, we won, so I'm coming back right now. But so we didn't, but our friend said you should really just put up a video of Cat's, the Sweet Caroline song that plays after every game. And I was like, you know what? That's going to be hilarious, and I had to do it.
Yeah, I saw that. You got me. I was like, oh, man, the boys are back. And then I watched the video. I was like, oh, they're not talking about anything. It's just a picture with Sweet Caroline playing.
Yeah, and that's a Panthers any home victory or anything, they play Sweet Caroline. So that was kind of why that happened.
Did you find that the negativity around the Panthers after losses, was that affecting your personal life? And did that have something to do with it?
My personal life, not personally. It wouldn't it didn't hurt my marriage, didn't hurt me with my kids, but it just put me in a bad mood. I know every fan loses and is defunct, but it's like, God, we just got our ass whooped by 30, 40 points. And now I've got to go talk about this for 2 hours. And then in a couple days, do research on the team to say, what can we do better? There's only so many times I could say, hey, Dave Canales, you got a big O-line, run the ball with 2,000-yard backs last year. And they don't do it. It's like, what can I tell them more,
Yeah. Yeah. Was it you or Steven who said that his kids don't even like the Panthers because it makes daddy sad?
Yeah, that's Steven. And I feel for him because he said that. And I knew his son was into the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't realize that was the case. And it's heartbreaking to hear.
Yeah.
He's experimenting with the Eagles at such a young age.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, this is something you gotta change up. Hopefully
you find you find a Kelly Green ball cap under his pillow. Son, what's this?
Yeah. What are you doing here?
Luckily, my daughter, she knows we cheer for the blue team.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, so all right, so in the future, let's say, we're out for right now. Mm-hmm. Is there any chance we can get the boys back together? Because I know you didn't. The thing I like about this, how everything unfolded, a lot of people are skeptical and cynical online these days. They'd be like, oh, they're doing this to drum up support. I watched the whole episode. You guys were doing that completely as honest and this is where we're at. But it probably has gotten you good enough attention where you're like, maybe we should do it again. So is there any chance that you guys get back on and get the band back together? I want to see Steven and Jerry talking some Panthers football.
Right now, I'm not sure. I think that something could happen. I'm not sure. It depends on the team and where Steven's at. I said that I really like doing the draft profiles for the team as it was a fun way for me to learn the draft prospects and stuff. So I don't know. Right now, I would say maybe.
Okay.
Just because I don't know where his headspace is at with coming back. I know right now he's really on a no side, but
yeah. Okay.
I remain hopeful.
Yeah.
I am too. And especially if the team starts doing a little bit better, or even if we do, like I said, the once a month or once a week or every other week, I think that would be fun because when we're doing it, he has fun. I have fun. It's just, there's only so much of being demoralized you can take.
Yeah,
in a 3-year span that the Panthers have given me.
Yeah,
I hear you. I would like to see you guys make some sort of return. I don't, if it's not 3 times a week, I understand that. If it's not twice a week, I understand that. But I feel like the world is a slightly brighter place when we've got guys like you doing the stuff that you love to do.
Yeah, even after our fans sent us, because we had a segment called Gambling for the Children, where we bet on the Panthers game. We put in $100 and we bet on the Panthers game throughout the season. At the end of the year, whatever's in the pot, if it's above $100, goes straight to St. Jude's.
Oh no.
If it was under, we put it back the $100 and make it to St. Jude's. Mm-hmm. So we got questions about what's going on with that money. And we're like, well, we're still going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So,
but
I love that.
That's not a lot of money. What was the lowest amount of money that got what year was it? Is it money line or are you betting spread?
We're bet at finding the best bet that we can, because we used to do beer bets to each other, but then we just quit caring. We're like, we're just gonna get drunk anyways because this team sucks so bad. So, so like, let's actually try to get. So like last year, we made a lot of money on Chuba Hubbard. Breaking the yardage every week and stuff like that. So we did win last week with the Miami. We took the money line. Yeah. I thought we were actually going to beat the Dolphins, and we did. So we took the money line. Yeah, because when you first explained that, I thought you were just taking Panthers money line every week, and it's like that would get into depressing territory of like, you know, a 1-15 season being like, oh shit, this is not going well. No, that's why we went to gambling for the children. So we wanted to win instead of just losing smart bets to each other for beers. We were like, yeah. I love it. I love it.
If you want to send us your best bet on the Panthers every week, I'll put in a bet on it.
Yeah, we'll shout it out.
And then I'll give everything that I earned from that bet to the kids for the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in. We'll get involved.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Last question for you. Did Squeaky Cheeks reach out at all? Because I saw you guys give a shout. That was my favorite part of the video when you're like, you know, Blood Nugget and Squeaky Cheeks, some of the people that are. Did Squeaky Cheeks reach out?
Oh, Squeaky Cheeks messages us on our YouTube channel all the time. Same with Blood Nugget, you know, RJ, Andrew. We had some great fans. We really have some great fans. And, you know, we got one from Switzerland today. That was what kept us going mostly, was just a simple fact. It was a small community because, again, we're a little podcast, but our community was good, you know, always talking, always, you know, going back and forth about what to improve this team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. Well, appreciate you hopping on, Jerry, and you let us know if you're ever, you know, when you do feel the itch and you maybe bring it back, let us know because we want to boost it and get everyone to subscribe.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Jerry.
All right. Thank you.
Meow Mix Jerry is brought to you by Twisted Tea. Twisted Tea is a refreshing hard iced tea made with real brewed iced tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea is the perfect alcohol beverage to keep the good times going all season long. Whether you're hanging out at a friend's house, catching a game at the stadium or at the bar, or just seeing where the day takes you, Twisted Tea is there to turn your day up a notch and make a good time a great time. We were out on the course on Monday playing some golf, and Twisted Tea was with us, and I don't think that there's a better outdoor drink in the world than Twisted Tea. It's perfect for a nice sunny day, perfect when you're hanging outside. Keep it twisted, grab a tea, it's game time. Stock up on ice-cold Twisted Tea today.
Okay, let's wrap up the show. We got FAQs from our one and only Henry Lockwood. Hank.
I like that. That was like a old school morning DJ voice.
Yeah.
Let's kick it over to Henry Lockwood on a wacky Wednesday.
Hank. Man, he's not ready. After that intro, he's not even ready.
No, it's not, nothing.
What? Nothing what?
As a St. Louis Cardinals fan, I've never experienced a full rebuild in my entire life. How do you handle it? How do you approach the season knowing you're not a contender? Where's the small wins you can feel?
This is such a like.
Listen, it's I can speak from experience. Like it's one of those things where it's gonna be dark. You're gonna have games where you're not gonna win.
Piece of shit.
It's gonna be ugly, but the sunshine will rise again. Like it will be good again. You just gotta trust the process and understand that it's not forever.
Actually, Hank did handle the rebuild correctly. He just ignored his team for like 4 years, and now they're back, and he's like, oh.
Well, that's the thing is like if you come from a winning background, you can then have an easier time ignoring the rebuild.
Yeah.
But if you come from a losing background, then the rebuild is all you have. And you put your hopes and dreams in the rebuild, and you check up on the rebuild every day. You might hypothetically look to see how your minor league teams are doing and then refresh the batting averages and look at the prospects and be like, oh, this rebuild is not going well right now. But what I like to do is I bet on the season win total over at the start of the year, and then I just kind of forget that I bet on that around like mid-July, and then I check again in late September, and I'm like, oh, maybe. Nope, it's not going to hit. That's how I handle it.
I got to say it. Rebuilds are fun. Failed rebuilds are not fun. But, like, the idea, if your team actually says, like, hey, we're going to try to rebuild, because the worst place to be in any sport at any point is to have a team that cannot win a championship, but the owners being like, no, it's fine. We're going to keep doing the same thing and it will work. When you actually hit the rebuild button, and if you have the right people in charge to be like, hey, guys, rebuild, they can be kind of fun.
Yeah,
because you're like, hey, this is a process. We know it's a process, but at least we have a direction now.
What I've never been able to do is to become like a fan of the rebuild. There are fans of your team that will become fans of the rebuild and fans of the process, and you need to use them as a resource to check in on and be like, hey, how's the rebuild going? But you know the kind of guys I'm talking about that are like, okay, well, we got this draft pick, we got this asset, and then they plan out how to use the rebuild.
Yeah.
So they become fans of the process, and they don't care at all about the results. They're just like, the process is good right now.
Baseball rebuilds are also the most fun team or sport you can rebuild in, because unlike all the other sports, you can actually watch your players still play. Like, you know, getting excited about a guy in AAA, like mashing, is kind of fun.
It is fun.
And then the call-up is so exciting. You're like, oh, my God, this is a big day. I remember, like, Chris Bryant Day at Wrigley was, like, one of the most excited I've ever been.
I was there for that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was a cold day that they brought him up. And everybody
he struck
in the
out,
stadium,
I think, 4 times.
Yeah, everybody in the stadium was like, okay, this is it. We got our
Bryant
guy.
Day.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun, like latching on to tiny stats of your high-touted prospect. You're like, oh, his chase rate is incredible.
ERA.
They've never seen a guy.
ERAX.
This guy has the best eyes in the history of baseball. He never strikes out looking. He takes a lot of walks. I love this dude. But yeah, I mean,
it's another pitch. Once he adds a third pitch,
is
he's going to be fucking electric.
He's working on a slurve.
Yeah.
So that's going. I'm looking at the spin rate on that. It's way higher than it was last year. Yeah, rebuilds.
Yeah,
but also in baseball,
ourselves into
rebuilds. They kind of suck too in baseball because the draft is so weird in baseball.
Yeah,
it's like it's such a complete crapshoot, and sometimes you even draft guys that are not even slotted in that position based on talent, but they're slotted in that position based on money and what you have left to spend. It's a challenge to get through, but I'm sure that the Cardinals will find some way to be good in like 1 year, and it'll piss everybody off. So congratulations.
Hey, it's Jake from Toronto.
Hey, Jake.
My question is, what is your favorite PMT road trip moment? Love the show.
Oh.
Favorite road trip moment?
I like the, I think on the first Grit Week, remember we had a fan drive up and throw a beer to us in the bus on the road while we were driving? That was electric.
That was electric.
I mean, also just being nostalgic, the first Grit Week when we were in the Buffalo Bills stadium parking lot just trying to like scrounge up interviews. We basically like the guy that hangs out outside training camp being like, can I get a tryout for the team?
Yeah.
And we had Richie Incognito on the bus, and then we were like, or on the van, and then we were just waiting, and Rob Ryan walked out, and he walked onto the RV and was like, oh, boys, I could live on this thing.
Yeah.
We paid Rob Ryan with a case of beer, and he had a great time on the RV. Just like the nostalgic moments hit sometimes.
I think my favorite moments are always when we're like at the tail end of a long week of work and we have like a night where we can go out to dinner or get drunk or something, and it's just like actually, all right, I got one. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have this one in your head as well. Grit Week, Colorado, climbing Everest, doing mushrooms, going to one of my favorite dive bars I've ever been into at Boulder, the Sunset Room. We were high on mushrooms, and we played maybe the worst game of darts that has ever been played in the history of darts. No one could hit anything because we were fucked up. But that was like, I just remember looking around being like, man, this is fucking sick.
Yeah. The jukebox.
Those type
awesome.
of moments, yeah.
It was a good vibes that night.
We were so bad at darts.
Very bad.
We were so high on mushrooms.
You were actually good.
Was I?
Yeah, I remember.
I just remember being like, I don't really know, like I'm not in a mind space to play darts right now, but we're gonna play darts.
Yeah, there's actually like a lot of dive bars that I remember now. The dive bar in Atlanta,
Northside Tavern,
where we went, got pretty drunk, watched some blues band play with like Chris Long.
That was great.
That was a great night. I heard that place might have closed down.
No,
I hope it didn't. I hope that's fake news.
No, Wingnuts, first Wingnuts.
Yeah,
walking into the Knights of Columbus. That was pretty awesome.
Meeting Ed and Alicia.
Yeah.
I wasn't at this one, but the one that I always wanted to be at was the storm chasing.
Oh, yeah, with Buddha Bed. I mean, that was electric.
I would go storm chasing again.
I would love to go storm chasing.
Absolutely.
We should do that.
We should. It'd be
or we have
thrill.
2 Vannies. We could hit them from both sides.
Yeah.
Meet in the middle of the storm.
It's like Twister.
Hey guys, longtime listener, first time texter. How do you come up with your material for fastest 2 minutes? Are you doing it as you're watching the games, or do you have jokes saved?
No, we do it after the games.
Occasionally, I'll jot down something during a game.
Yeah.
But what I found that this year, every single time I've done that, it's been about the Giants. And then the Giants are the Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
So we don't get to use
I did that the other week. Remember when we split it? Because sometimes,
Yeah.
it depending on the schedule, like if the Commanders or Bears play the afternoon game, we'll split it up and do it separately. But when we can do it together, it's more fun. So yeah, it's kind of just around 6 o'clock every Sunday. Just being like, oh shit, we got to do this.
Yeah, and then I'll
not like in a bad way, but just like, oh yeah, I forgot we got to do this.
So right now I have a completely empty Google Doc, except it still says from like week 2, scatabo, busy, scatabo. And I'll just be looking at that every day. Yeah. That was like a Yogi Bear. I don't know where that came from.
Just have a couple in the hopper.
All right, last one. What does the booth smell like?
Bad.
That's a great question because I feel like it varies.
Bad.
How is it right now?
Although
we don't really know because it's like
you're in it, yeah.
Individually, they're not bad smelling guys.
Yeah,
the three of you do not smell bad individually. I think when you put them together, and then Max, I mean, the other night he cleared the booth. He just stood up. He goes, "I got to open the door because I just farted. It's so bad." That's got to stick in there.
Well, yeah. Some there's no circulation in here, and it's a small room. So like, if we fart, I mean. Our Sunday, we've talked about it, weight loss challenge going bad. Sometimes we eat a lot of gross food and we fart.
Yeah, that's what guys do. Yeah.
Zach,
gross food equals farts.
What would you say, Zach?
I would have to piggyback on we're in it, so I don't have a great read on how it smells. It would have to be someone third party coming in like, wow, this is a little funky, probably is what they'd say.
Yeah. All you know is what you know.
Sometimes the guys who come in for the lottery ball, they'll say it.
They'll say it smells bad.
Yeah. That's a good point. Sometimes they're quick to be like, "Whoa."
Should we get you guys an air filter?
Yeah, or something. Air freshener. Hang a big like make an oversized Christmas tree one that they have in the cars. Just hang it in the middle of the booth. They come out smelling like pine.
Sunday's definitely the worst smelling day, right?
Oh yeah,
in that booth.
Gotta be. Sundays it's too much. Football season low key kind of kills all of us.
Yeah.
We joke about like the whole it's harder to do what we do than playing in the NFL, but I don't think it is week to week, but I think when all's said and done, if we do this show for another 10, 15 years, if you add up all the years, it's gonna be like that. We put some stress on the body.
Oh yeah, the late nights that turn into early mornings, especially for the guys in the booth. And like Pug, Jack behind the like those guys, that is tough. It's a quick turnaround, but guess what? We're young.
Yeah,
we're still young.
We're very
vibrant.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of the guys in the booth, do you want to get them in here for the numbers?
3.
Oh, memes.
My mic wasn't on. That was rude.
Oh.
Yo, numbers.
22.
Memes. Do you want 3?
I mean, they all got it. They don't have to be in here. We'll go 29.
Do you want 3 memes?
No, it's okay.
I'll go 6, 7. Yeah, I have a bad update about that. By the way, my son knows what that is. He said the kids say it at school. That means that I am dangerously close to getting learning things from him before I learn them myself.
6, 7 is one of those mass hysteria things. Like when everybody in a town catches the giggles at the same time and they go insane. That's what it's become like that on a national. It's a virus.
But I learned about 6, 7 like maybe 2 months ago, so it's very close.
It's too close
that I got that in. All right.
Anyone pick 33?
Nope.
5.
99.
22.
8.
What was yours, memes?
29.
29. Hank, where were you?
22.
$84. Notice I didn't ask memes if you've gotten it before?
No. Like, I ignore that part.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't. If you go back and listen, I didn't ask.
Good for you.
I know the answer to it. You have not, and you never will.
We're going to walk in here. This machine's going to be smashed one day.
Mm-hmm.
On fire.
Mm-hmm.
Love you guys.
Peaked in high school.
I played football, played soccer.
It made me so popular, I'd shove geeks inside lockers. They were freaks, I was cool. But now I'm a blogger, act like a punk rocker. I still live with my mother, cause I peaked in high school. Yeah, I'm roommates with my brother, my mom's basement's my room. I peaked in high school, I ran the world. I peaked in high school, if you didn't, you're a fucking nerd. I peaked in high school, I was the man. But now I'm not cool, so I started this fucking band. I've got this leather jacket, those geeks wish that they had it. I still like Lenny Kravitz and I work at Barstool. I kick